Iron Lords podcast.
Go ahead, eat the nectarine. All right, I'm gonna be over here vaping. All right,
and we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 74. It is another glorious Sunday, and
you guys are catching up, man.
We moving, baby. It's another glorious Sunday, and we are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I am very excited about our special guest, so we're gonna get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who I first crossed paths with through some good old-fashioned Xbox Live gaming and party chat. This Lord's journey and growth in the community has been absolutely remarkable to watch, whether it be his balanced opinion pieces, cool music integration, or unique live streams, all done with fantastic production values. Introducing the host of the Next Level podcast and panelist of the Crossfire podcast, the Lord of video game console neutrality, and one of the most passionate gamers you will ever encounter while getting his vape on. Making his debut into the realm of the Lords, my man, what's going on? Lord Xbot448. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, people? King Neutral is in the building. Dude, you are giving me a run for my money when it comes to these intros, man. Thank you for the kind words. I do appreciate it. It's been a long time coming, man, but I am on ILP, man. Let's go.
Long overdue. This is the homie, y'all. This is more than a friend of the realm, man. We've been gaming with Xbox for a long time. It had to be done.
You guys brought me through my first raid and everything, man.
Yes,
I remember.
Yeah. Let me tell you how far we go back. Remember, wasn't it you had a Forza Horizon clan that I think I joined? You know what I'm saying? I think it was one of y'all guys. That's when like Forza Horizon was really big, and we used to rock out and game and stuff like that.
I used to always tell Xbot he needed to convert his channel to a Forza Horizon channel. You have content every year. It's not like one of those things, you know, where you won't have content every year. They have a Forza every year.
Yeah, man, but it's just good. Like I said, it's long overdue to have you in the realm. You're an absolute lord at what you're doing, so it's only right to have you at the round table. You ready to get rocking, man? Ready to have some fun?
I am down, man. I saw the topics. Let's go. Let's go.
And of course,
I want to know what level his characters are, because he been slacking.
What?
Oh my God!
Me? Let's see. I got a 393 Hunter right now.
That's weak stores. Everybody at 400 and 405. Where you at though?
How many times you did the prestige raid layers, man?
Oh, I got 17 clears.
Okay. See, that's where I got to catch up, man. But I've been grinding. See, what I'm trying to do right now, I got to get all three characters up into that.
What you trying to do right now? I threw out the 17 clears. Hey, I threw out the 17 clears, and you jump back in the bushes. That's what happened.
And of course, we have the four horsemen of gaming, those usual suspects at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the howl of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Nice. I like that energy right now.
I feel it. I like it. I love when his energy is up.
He's the infamous king of the dogs right there.
I don't get how me just talking is energy.
Yeah, because it determines whether you had a 5-hour energy or a 10-hour energy. Yes. One or the other.
You realize you've been saying that like every episode for like 6 or 7, right?
He says, like, based on your energy, he can tell how the show gonna go with you.
You're gonna be receptive or not. Yeah,
exactly. And of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati, and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, guys. How you guys doing?
No doubt. Good.
Yeah.
Ready, rocking, solving the building, attic in the building, energy's up, Xbox. Let's go.
Man. Real quick. We had during the course of the week, we had one more Patreon subscriber, a good dear friend to the realm. Woo! This man has known Cognito and myself since kindergarten. Like literally, we've been in school together since kindergarten.
Facts.
So big shout out to Lord Loaded Pixels, Lord Cole. I'm not gonna say your name. I don't know if you want me to say it.
We ain't gonna put his government out. We don't like that. We put the Patreon government.
Lord Loaded Pixels.
Loaded Pixels, baby. No doubt. Much appreciation. We go way back, baby. You understand?
Way back.
Yeah, he was at my house. What was it? A month and a half ago?
Oh,
yeah. He works down the block.
That's what's up. And of course, you know we got the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience, and is the Get Money Gamer.
Oh,
beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing incredible. I got my man Xbot on the show. I've been waiting for you to get on here. Oh, this is my dude. We roast back and forth in game chat. Yo, I'm so happy that you're here. Because I can't get you to join a raid with us, you know. I don't know. You've been ducking our raids, you know. I send him. I'll be spamming invites his way. I know he see him pop up on his screen. He'd be like, "Oh no, they're doing difficult stuff. I'm going to stay over here." No, but listen. I just want to give a shout out to Tiger. He threw Kylie Jenner in the bushes, and his music is better. So shout out to you, sir, because he has some 3 songs that are popping that is in rotation. Yes.
That taste? Oh, that's it. Sorry. Oh yeah.
That's right there. That's it. He got the joint Cream. He got Swish. He got that joint. Yeah, he back from the dead because he was in The Walking Dead a minute ago. He was a zombie. He was in the sunken place. Boy's back, boy. I like it. It's beautiful.
Yo, guys, if I can, I need to, secure my name as King Neutral right now. When King said that I was ducking him or whatnot, see, I'm also putting my hand out there for people who haven't done the raid and stuff like that. And
I feel you getting your Sherpa on.
Other people up. I am a man of the people, is what it is, man. So don't let this guy.
Listen, I feel you. I I give my Sherpa on to the youngins too.
Okay. You out here Sherpering. That's the excuse. The Sherpa's on. Because I be looking at it and you be in the tower by yourself. I be looking at it, you be solo. Remember, it snitches on you and tells you what you're doing. So I'm like, Xbot, he by himself. Let me send something to him.
Let me see. I don't see it. I don't see the invite.
I know he don't see mine. He put on King B block and it blocked him. So King B block when it come to Xbot. So it be like block King. He be like, he got a blocker that be doing this.
I call him Mutombo Jr., man.
No. He be like, no, you will not play with Xbot today. No.
No, what else going on, kid?
That's it, man. You know, Eddie Snakehole salesman Hearn is out here frauding again, but we won't get into that because Xbot don't like, go
ahead, do what you gotta do, man. I got
a whole channel. No, listen, I got a whole channel for that. Throw Attic back in the bushes. I got a whole channel for that.
It's whatever, man.
Let's shut the bushes.
Don't mean I am.
Listen, everybody, please. I want y'all to put a bunch of bushes emoji and let's put Attic back in the bushes.
Oh my god, I like Attic out here today.
Yo, King, if you're doing that for me, Attic might want me on like every week as a special guest, just so you skip through that. And get to the game,
and then we can skip through his difficult game conquering because nobody cared for that.
Oh my
you can't do any of it. Don't mean nobody.
No, it's not. I can't. I just look at you and say, no, I got somebody in that lane playing that game. Go ahead, go do that. I don't want to do that.
And of course,
I like fun.
We have the gaming himself, the Shinobi, Lord Cognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So before we get into what the Lords are playing this week, I want to start off with Lord Xbot, his video game system history, his journey into YouTube and the podcast realm with the next podcast, and then eventually what led him to becoming a panelist on Crossfire. So Lord Xbot, let's take it back to the beginning. Okay. What was some of the first video game systems you had, and what got you in the game?
Well, the first system I actually owned was the NES, man. That was my first system.
Nice.
I used to mess around with my dad's Atari from time to time as well, and I was a big Pitfall fan. Absolutely love that game, man.
Classic.
Like, I got addicted. I would play that game until I would get yelled at. You know what I'm saying? Like, get off the TV or whatnot. But
yes, true gamer.
But NES, I played a lot of games with my older brother at the time. He was into a lot of like airplane, helicopter stuff. So I was playing like Tiger Heli, of course, like traditional Mario, Zelda, all that good stuff. But because of my older brother, I was getting into the kind of like helicopter combat and stuff like that. We had a blast playing together.
Okay.
Let's see. After that, man, it was the Genesis. My brother had the Genesis. I had the Super Nintendo, so I was able to get the best of both worlds on that.
Genesis does. Remember that?
Dude, my brother, and he went all in. Like, he got the Genesis, and when the Sega CD came out, the big one that you put underneath
King
it.
had it. King had it.
He grabbed that. He had the 32X, so I was able to play like all three of those things put together. My Super Nintendo, for some reason, my older brother didn't want to play any of that. I don't think he didn't want to play me in Street Fighter, man. I think.
He with that smoke. He with that Street Fighter smoke.
Yeah, he saw me killing it with my boy the Haslam, and he was like he didn't want none of that.
He didn't want that long arm action.
Nah. But after that, I went to Dreamcast, and I gotta say, to this day,
let's go.
Dreamcast is probably my favorite console, man. You talk about innovation.
Yeah, not to cut you. Just what's funny is there's so many people we have on ILP always rank the Dreamcast up. It's very interesting to hear you say that. But yeah, tell me about the innovation.
So
tell me what you love.
Amazing that we have so many people wrong.
Oh my goodness!
You gotta leave him alone because he started gaming when he got a GameCube. Let's be kind. Let's be kind.
Well, in between that, I also had a PlayStation, man, and I gotta say, my PlayStation, like I rocked that. Like I played the PlayStation 1 so hard that like I had to turn it upside down
just to get it to work.
Get the games to play.
That was true. I never knew about that.
That was
point. After a while, when your lens got messed up, like there were a number of different things you could do to try to get that to work better. But yeah, sideways.
I flipped the whole thing upside down. But like I said, Dreamcast was to this day was my number one console. Having the VMUs and having the little games that you can play. Like I remember I used to work at a store called Stop and Shop. I used to work in the deli.
They still exist, baby.
and, well, it depends. Like I know everybody in the chat, man. They nationwide. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how far.
You're absolutely right. Correct. That's a tri-state thing. You talking that tri-state?
Yeah. I was working in the deli every like 15-minute break or half-hour break. I was working on my chows in Sonic Adventure and stuff like that. They had the peripheral where you would go fishing. It actually had the rod to it. That game C-Man. See, I want to try to.
The one with the microphone that you can talk to it. Yeah, C-Man. Yeah. Some people. The fish with the man face.
Yeah, if I say it really quick, people clown me on that. You know what I'm saying? But he had the Eminem face too. Yeah,
that you're playing with Steeman.
I should have just moved forward. Yeah, I should have just moved forward.
Shout out to little Megatron coffee shops all over Jersey. Word, talk that talk.
Hey, let's get those likes up. We have 42 and I only see 17. What happened here?
Let's see. But after that, I got my first Xbox. I didn't really mess with the PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 3. Now, the reason why I didn't really get a PS2 was I had friends that we used to hang out on the daily, and my boy John, he had the PS2, so I was able to play it whenever I wanted to. I didn't think I had to invest in it. I had my Dreamcast, he had that, I also had a 64 as well.
Nice. And we picked up for the 64. Let's talk some 64.
Wrestling, man.
There we go.
It was all about the wrestling games, dude. Like,
which one? Did you have what was it?
Oh, see, I had No Mercy. I had WrestleMania 2000. Like I had all of them. Like,
but they did not have the best.
Dude,
wrestling.
they haven't been able to match it since, man.
Facts to this day.
So, and I think it was the conversion over to disc that somehow, some way they lost something in that. Now the graphics has been great on wrestling games lately, but nothing compares to the gameplay of like the 64 WrestleMania 2000. And
facts, and that was the Aki engine, correct, Sauce?
Yep.
Aki, those are our guys.
Famous engine.
Yeah, one of the most balanced in the counter system. Remember, they used to stick their chest out to counter the block.
Yeah. Well, the chest out was to block. Remember, you blocked the chest out, and then you counter just like you did like in Tekken or something like that.
Right, and they had like when you get up off the ground, like a safe get up when you crouch real low.
You would stay crouched, and then you could closesline right out of the crouch. We had
hell yeah.
If we had video, if we would have had video of the epic matches that we had back in the day, they'd have millions of views on YouTube.
And then the last thing too, on a 64 wrestling game, you really touch a nostalgia bug for me, is like the shystiness of the battle royal. If you got eliminated and you go outside and you be grabbing their little feet and try to get.
That's what me and my friends used to do. Whoever got eliminated, we try to grab like everybody else. For real.
That used to cause so much drama because you could hate after the loss. Like that was so funny.
And it added so much strategy because you had to make sure to stay away from these guys. You had to try to do your business.
Do that and fight the ring.
Yeah, like oh man, that was the best.
Oh, the memories, man. You hit one Xbox. Go ahead, continue. What else?
Well, let me go from that into like YouTube. Now, the start of this generation, I was watching like gaming media and stuff, talking about the two consoles. I saw the unveiling of both consoles, and I've been on record stating that the original idea for the Xbox One was something I was interested in, but I do know when Microsoft looks into the future, sometimes they look a little farther than everybody else, and not a lot of people accept, what is coming down the line because they look so far ahead, down the road. But I was down for that, so I already knew I was going to get an Xbox. But within all that, I saw this whole kind of like power narrative building up. I saw this whole kind of like resolution war starting to build and stuff. And, with this generation, we have game DVR. Not only do we have game DVR, but you can upload to YouTube, you could stream to Twitch and stuff like that. So they handed out tools to the gamer where you didn't have to go get like an Elgato or, spend $150 here, so spend $100 here, and you could just stream or you could record videos. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw my hat into the ring here.
Nice.
Hopefully I could bring some common sense, to the YouTube gaming department back when there wasn't a lot, man. Like, dude, people were throwing out misinformation here and there, and it was absolutely crazy. People, it became so popular just to bash the Xbox One and not look at the games that were there and the experiences that they were creating on that system. So I started my channel. I did a lot of Forza as well. I do car vinyls and stuff like that. I was putting that out there. I was showing like new cars. I was making them like the designs available for free.
I've seen those. Those are tight. I remember when we used to do that. Yep.
I'm actually going to get back into that as well. I got a couple cars that I'm planning on kind of like live streaming and showing kind of the process or whatnot and putting those vinyls together. But after a while, I started getting close to 1,000 subs, and my boy Mooch gets a hold of me.
Okay.
Asked me to be a special guest on Crossfire.
Lord Mooch, the Crossfire team. We pretty much had a lot of Crossfire on the show just now. Yeah, Boomstick before you.
Mooch is really good at finding people, man. Yeah. Like he really does. He goes through YouTube. He watches people's videos and stuff like that. He's the one who gave me my first shot on a live podcast. What happened was I was a special guest and everything went cool. I was a little intimidated. Your Crap Gamer was there. Mooch was there.
First time. You was around the heavyweights holding your own.
I was trying to get 2 words in. To be really honest with you. That's all I wanted to do. 2 words and I'm good. But after that, like it really kind of that itch got to me, and I started like every like maybe week or two, I would send Mooch a DM like, yo, if you need somebody, I'm here. If you need somebody, I'm here. Eventually he got me back on. And I remember that when he introduced me on the second time, I told everybody in the chat, I was like, yo, he let me back in the door. And now he's got to use that boot to kick me out. Yo, I'm trying to be here every week now.
No
And
doubt, man. It's funny to hear people's first thought. It's very similar to what you talk about. It's like, you get in. I even credit addict. Like, I was like, okay, and then you get into it, and then you kind of get that itch. You get that fever. You just want to keep it going. So I know what you mean. And salute the Lord Mooch, because, like I said, we've had a lot of cross-finals. So also, I want to shout out Italian Clowns. That's the homie. Give him some love. But yeah, so it's like, it's funny to see, like, how people get in and then like they have that passion for it. And that's one of your trademarks. Like anybody who watches an Xbox, if you don't hear the passion in this man's face, like this man loves gaming, you know what I'm saying? It's good to see, you know what I'm saying, your journey and what's going on. But continue your story. I'm sorry.
Well, when it comes to Crossfire, my main goal was I've seen a lot of people be a special guest, and with Crap Gamer there, Crap Gamer has a tendency to talk and really get his opinion out there. I wanted to be kind of like his kryptonite on that. I wanted to make sure that I would come in. I remember, like, I was known for interrupting Crap and putting my opinion over there. That is so hard to do, man. That is so hard. He's wised up from it as of lately, and he just keeps talking over me no matter what. But,
don't worry, I've learned the same thing that he's done, and I do it too.
Oh my
God. Yeah. I noticed that today, man. But
I was doing it in the chat a lot, and I was like, "When is he gonna catch on?" He's not catching on yet. Yeah, got
you. He's like, Lord, Xbot talks too much. LOL.
I will say, when it comes to next podcast, me and my brother K Mega, we're coming together.
Salute K Mega. We met him out there in E3, man. Good.
That's
dude.
my man, right?
Got a chance to chop it, man.
You talk about passion, man. You talk about heart. You can definitely put K Mega on that list, no doubt. But I wanted to do a show. I wanted to do something different. I've seen a lot of hangouts and stuff like that. People coming together talking gaming, which is great. You know what I'm saying? You get opinions out there. I wanted something that people could be able to watch as well. You know what I'm saying? So we came up with the idea of everybody on the panel giving about 10-15 minutes of gameplay. Like I said,
man. Addict, remember when we tried to do that when it was just Destiny?
With Game DVR, it made it simple. I was thinking only Xbox, but now with my brother Predator and K Mega on there, and they dabble in PC gaming, man, we get such a wide range of games. You can watch, everybody's gameplay. You can vote for the best gameplay at the end of the show on my Twitter. And it's just become this thing where it's not just, you're hearing the gaming opinions on the gaming news, but you actually have something to watch. You can chime in on the chat about like who had the best gameplay, what was this person thinking here doing this and stuff like that. It's been a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, and I want to give you a lot of credit because it is such a unique take on it. And like I said, I love how you guys set that up. And like I said, people don't understand, like a lot of stuff takes work. And, I said ILP was, we're still starting, we're still growing. And just to see your journey with that kind of thing, I think it's cool. I also don't think you get enough credit, like with the music integration, having the beats popping. You know what I'm saying?
You like that starting soon, huh, man?
I already know. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just real cool to see how you do your overlays. It's a unique thing. Shout out to the chat. Again, my boy Daz, he says, hey, next podcast is an A+ show. Yeah, salute to you guys. Salute to the team, man. So give me the shout outs for the whole roster. You got K Mega. Shout out your team, man.
Oh yeah, of course. With the panel, we got my brother K Mega. We got Snaps. It's Mel, who she's more of a part-time because of her job, so she gets in when she can.
Gotcha.
We got the Angry Otter himself. We call him the Angry Otter, aka Dark Goldblum. But he is Dark Optimus. Of course, we have the developer that everybody loves, the Don. On the show.
Yeah, very informative. Yeah, very, very good.
My boy Predator, when it comes, Predator and Dark Optimus are two of the newer people on the panel. And I gotta say, man, I gotta give them huge shout outs because we start our DMs like early in the week. And I ask people like, what do they want to talk about, as the week goes, and Optimus and Predator are on their game, man. They're constantly putting articles in there. We just did the show this past Saturday, and we were talking about EA finally using quote unquote morality.
Yes,
on whether or not their games would have loot crates. I haven't seen anybody else talk about that. And if it wasn't for Optimus and Predator, I don't think we would have such a wide range of topics to
Yo, the
talk
chat going in though, but they saying what has Don developed? They going in like we gotta respect Don out here. What's going on?
Well, Don is doing a project now. He's calling it Project Pimp Cup. It's his first game himself. But you guys know in the gaming industry, you have people that kind of come in on short-term contracts and work on certain things within games. I know he's been kind of like freelance, moving from I believe like EA and other places and doing like these small contracts, but he's looking to hit kind of like the big time and drop his own game, and that's Project Pimp Cup. So
yeah, I definitely like the discussion when you guys are talking about EA. Very knowledgeable, very informative talks, man. And like I said, you guys have really good chemistry, so that's cool. So one personal question before we move into the question I ask every other guest. So for you, why? I got the Xbox part. I think that's a play. I'm assuming that's like a play on what was going on with the console wars and all that narrative. But tell me about the 448. What's the 448? That ain't no CT area code, bro.
No. 203 or 860 in CT, and that's it.
Facts.
I am a weird person, man. I like to learn stuff on a daily basis, and one thing I got into was certain sets of numerology, right? So 4 means like the creation or the beginning of something, and basically
You and King about to drop some knowledge right
now.
Well,
oh no, we can sit there. We sat there in a party chat one day and shut everybody in that party chat. So, like, if you want to talk about 2 conspiracy theorists, that's what you want to label us as. Me and him rolling the same. We rolling the same bushes together. Me and this man is 100% on the same page. So we was dropping knowledge, and he's about to finish dropping knowledge. I already know about it, but he's about to finish dropping knowledge. But we dropping knowledge so much in that chat that the loud vocals
with that wisdom, that 448 knowledge itself. Let me get
that. Let's get that.
Well, the number 4 stands for like the beginning, and and 8 is kind of like a number that stands for rebirth. So when I was looking at what was going on in the gaming industry, I thought we needed the beginning of change. I thought we needed the beginning of something better. And so, I just put that into my name. Of course, like you said, Xbot, when I saw people like, oh, you're an Xbot or you're a pony and stuff like that, I was like, people started calling me an Xbot just because I played on the Xbox. And I was like, you know what? That's a cool fucking name, man. For lack of a better term, I'm like, I'd rather be called that than anything else. I can make that like something cool. I can make that look cool and stuff like that. I had a lot of like robot type things when I first started my channel. And I don't know, it stayed with me. It just stayed with me, and I thought it was a great move, man. I have it as my Xbox Live, PSN.
He said today's mathematics. You stupid pigs.
Oh, look at Native Xbox. That's my boy. Yo, shout out to Native too, man.
Shout out to Native, man. They're killing us right now. They say we dropping knowledge right now. No. So I got you. So pretty much like that, and then the play on the name, and then the 448 is like kind of like personal as far as numerology and things that it personally means to you. Okay, no doubt. That's what's up, man. So of course, I got to ask you the important questions in the round. So let's start with like the top 5 Xbox games of all time. Either the games or franchises. Your top 5 of all time.
Top 5 all time. Well, I'll already give you my number 1. I've said it across the board. My number 1 game all time is for Super Nintendo, and it is Super Metroid. All right.
Ooh, I didn't know you was a Metroid head.
Oh, dude, Super Metroid, dude. I lost like probably a whole like school year. Nothing but that game, man. That was the first game I really went into like hard, yo. Like, after I beat it and everything like that, I remember going to EB at the time and getting the strategy book in case I missed anything. And I went back in, I don't know how many more times, just getting everything from the strategy book as well. So that was
all right. What else we got?
In terms of franchises, I got to put Halo up there. I've been a huge Halo fan for a long time, ever since the first one. The first time I played Halo was at my cousin's house, and he just gave me the controller It was a big ass hamburger controller, and that Duke, that big and
Duke.
But I took over like the game that had his save, and it was we just landed, and there was this like huge cavern, and I could not believe the size of this, man. And then, I was going in first person shooter, getting kind of like the sticks right, because if you remember, it was a lot different than like GoldenEye, and I was used to GoldenEye. You know what I'm saying in terms of first person. So this was different. You're using one stick to move the legs, another one to move the head, and I had to get used to that. But dude, like I was at a family get together at my aunt's house, and I was just there in my cousin's room the entire time playing Halo. I was hooked. I knew I had to get an Xbox that day.
That was it. Man. A lot of us felt the same way. So that's 2. We got Super Metroid. We got Halo. What else we got? 3 more.
We'll go with the Forza franchise as well. You knew that was coming, man. I
knew that was coming.
But see, I grew up like I said, when I had the PlayStation, it was Gran Turismo. Me and my boy Dean used to kill Gran Turismo.
Photorealistic. Remember GT when it first?
Dude, I remember my Eclipse. I remember my Mercedes GTR.
Bro, I would watch those replays all day. It would just look like real life. Like back then on PlayStation, like it was crazy. Continue.
Yeah, but to see the evolution now and to see what Turn 10 has done with this franchise, they took that mantle and they pushed it forward.
Next level.
I don't know what's going on with Gran Turismo Sport. I know a lot of people out there do like the game, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but coming from the original Gran Turismo, I'm wondering what happened with this team. Like,
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's definitely Forza Turn 10 and the Playground with the Horizon series. Those guys have taken the mantle and pushed it to the next level. So
I mean, they got to for them to be on the same level, they would have to release games more regularly, and they don't. I mean,
they take their time. They
release a game per decade. You're not gonna be able to keep up. Like it's just.
And that's another thing with Turn 10. You saw like you brought up the Horizon series as well. Like when they're doing racing simulations, and that's popular and stuff like that. They were listening to the gamers out there, and they worked out a deal with Playground, who wasn't first party at the time, to make an open world kind of like a car enthusiast game. And that turned out to be. I think this is going to be. I think Horizon's going to be bigger than Motorsport in the long run. It caters to a wider range of gamer out there. Car enthusiast, open world. Like they have a lot going for Horizon. But
gotcha.
Next on the list, man, I gotta say I gotta throw Zelda in there as well.
Ooh, that's right. Let's give Nintendo some love, y'all. Well, you got 2 Nintendo games. Yeah.
Dude, when you're talking top 5 like greatest, there's gonna be a lot of Nintendo in there, because they basically built a foundation that even like Microsoft, Sony, they're building on as well. So you gotta go back to that foundation, man.
Good, Eric.
Zelda inspired a lot in the industry.
Yeah, I know it's a lot. We have Zelda a lot in people's top 5. Absolutely. Digital Tajik said, "Stop it, Xbot. Forza is arcade. Gran Turismo is that sim. No comparison." Coming for you.
Really?
Yeah. Shut his mic off.
When Turn 10 goes in and does and does their work on like tire deterioration and stuff like that, and you don't see the other side doing it, you don't see their rival doing it and getting into detail to that point. That's when I gotta say, you know what, you might want to rethink that, man.
Good chat going in. Big Downstairs said Forza 7 is a sim, not an arcade. Oh, they going in the attack. Okay. Continue. They already got you covered, Xbox. They hold you down. So you got Metroid. We got Forza. We got you up to Zelda now, right? Halo. And
so I got one more. And when you come down to number 1, like one left, that's when it gets really hard, man. And I gotta say, if I'm going with kind of like the flavor of the week or the flavor of the year for me, man, I gotta go with Destiny 2 right now. Like, yo, dude, it's the one game.
Franchise made somebody's list. You're the first.
It's the one game I'm talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? It's the one game where when I turn on my Xbox, I can play a Forza, I can play a Halo, I can play so many other games. I have Game Pass as well, so I have like a huge library of games to choose from, and I go to Destiny 2.
Now, I got to be fair, because I'm biased, right? Because I am a Destiny guy, but I gotta say, I gotta get at you. You're saying Destiny 2, this Destiny, one of the greatest of all time?
Well, for right now, I'm going with like what I'm playing right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could easily, if I had to take that out of there and put an established franchise in, number 5 to me would probably be Doom.
Okay.
The Doom franchise was really that start of the first person shooter for me. Even to this day, you saw with Doom Eternal, they are pushing that bar further and further up. The next Doom is looking incredible, and I mean, I would put that in there for all time. But in terms of what I'm playing right now and what I pick up the controller and I just grab it
consistently gives you that feeling.
Yeah, Destiny 2.
And just for the people who hate on Destiny, like, what is it about Destiny that is like you just can't stop playing this game? Because a lot of people know, like, why are you guys playing that game? Y'all still playing that game's dead, isn't it dead? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so tell the people, what is it about Destiny that gets you up in the morning every day to play this game?
Well, there's a couple things. Now, first off, it deals with my kind of like klepto side of things, where I want absolutely everything that this game has to offer. You know what I'm saying? I'm going into Escalation Protocol after this show with a couple of my boys because I need to get that gear.
Because I got to get in. I need them weapons before I can sleep a catalyst. So get
Wait.
me.
Is one of your boys inside the clan? Because I've been watching your behavior, and I've been meaning to talk to you about your behavior. So, is your boy in the clan? Because if he is not sanctioned, sir, I think I'm gonna have to pull you out of that Escalation Protocol and have you run Escalation Protocol with me and Jay Fonzarelli, sir. I think I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna have to pull rank on you, sir.
You know what's funny about this? King is talking about if I play with clan members or not, but he's not thinking about how many people I have gotten to the clan.
That's right. And keep farming them over.
That's what's up.
Keep farming them over.
Good talk. But yeah, just some of the gameplay stuff that again gets you. So you said your addictive side. What else about Destiny?
And I guess another thing is kind of like the camaraderie, man. Because there's like when you go into the raid, it's not just everybody do something for themselves. Like there's a communication there. There's certain things that you have to do that it's
the best cooperative experiences.
It's a different experience than anything from any other game, and you really feel a sense of like gratification when you beat the raid with the crew you're with. You know what I'm saying?
Connection.
Yeah, and when you can get it to the point where you have like 2 or 3 new people and you can still bring them through the raid and you hear the excitement like in their voice, it's something that I don't get from any other game right now.
Talk Xbot. That's what I'm saying. Oh, he got me. All right, so we gotta move on. But yo, that was a serious. Okay, that's a serious 5. And I'm just gonna debut this new thing for you. And basically, it's gonna be we did the top 5. Now you don't have to put this next question in a specific order, but top 5 consoles of all time.
Ooh,
Xbot. Let's go.
All right, so let's go. I'm gonna go from the bottom up here. Let's see, man. This is gonna be.
It's gonna be tough, man. I did mine last night and I struggled.
You guys already know number 1 is gonna be Dreamcast for me. So we're going 5 through 2.
Let's go.
We'll go number 5, Super Nintendo. Nintendo, man. The library of games and the quality of games at that point in time. You can even see with the mini Super Nintendo, these games hold up today. Yeah. All right. So that was like the golden age of that type of graphic system there. I will go Xbox One at number 4.
OG. Okay.
All right. Well, no, not the one we have now.
Oh, right now. Oh,
all right.
my bad.
And the reason why is the feature set, and I do like when they came out with new exclusive with new IPs, there was something there that I liked, man. When it came to Sunset Overdrive, to me that is the game of this generation in my eyes.
Our Sony lords are gonna come for you right now.
It's the game. It's the game. Yeah, I know, man. There's a certain God of War game out there that everybody's playing right now.
Are going to question you like that.
But you look at the new IPs that came out over here. You know, Quantum Break is another game that I thought looked absolutely stunning. I liked I liked what they were trying to do with the story in terms of the game, the game and the show. I mean, they don't necessarily have to do that, but they were really kind of reaching out there and trying something new. All right. And I do know when it came graphically, that game was really hard to make. Right. Like, when you had stuff suspended in the sky, but it was being rippled like with like invisible ripples, but you can still move them around and stuff like that. That game was hard to make. Right.
So we got Xbox in there, Xbox One in there, and we got 2 left.
I'll have to go PlayStation 1.
Nice.
PlayStation 1. Dude, I remember putting in GTA when it was over the top. Like it was over, you had the bird's eye view, putting the game in, and then being able to take the game out and put a music disc in.
Yes. Remember that?
And then every time you got into a car, it would play a song from your disc.
Yes. Facts.
Dude, they did so many things with the PlayStation 1 that I absolutely loved.
They was just a young, aggressive Sony making their mark. Fantastic. I remember the boot up sound right now. Yeah, man. All right, so give me the last one.
So this would be number 2 all time. I gotta go with damn, man, it's a toss up.
You gotta make tough choices.
All right, I'm gonna go with my personal opinion here. I'm gonna go Genesis, man. I'm gonna go Genesis.
Salute.
The first time I played Mortal Kombat, that wasn't in the arcade was on the Genesis. Sonic the Hedgehog, I am absolutely addicted to.
Nice.
They had games like Super Thunderblade, stuff like that. Like, dude, I was hooked. F-22 Interceptor. Dude, I could go on and on with the games. Like, and a lot of it is personal because those are games that me and my brother played. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. I gotta cut you. The chat is going in on you. All right.
He said, "Cut this man's mic."
He said, cut his mic off. Cat Daddy said, "Sunset Game of the Generation." I had to pull over and make sure my son didn't hear that.
Cat Daddy.
Everybody has an opinion, man. That's all I gotta say.
Facts, Xbox. Now, this is what your personal emotional connection to these systems are. That's people gotta think.
Well, I gotta say something. Sunset Overdrive. I can see other people not saying that, but for me, I'm into like punk rock music. I'm into a certain sense of humor.
Gotcha.
And it's like they took my thoughts, my random thoughts and everything, and they made a game out of it. And it turned out to be Sunset Overdrive. That's why for me, that was the experience this generation. It was that new game. It was that new experience.
I feel you.
That's good. That's
strong. Listen, that was the 5 right there.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. That was dope, man. So thank you for participating in the new segment. You know what I mean? Making everybody squirm a little, make the tough choices and get called out.
Yo, you sitting there. I'm
got
thinking
that
about it. I'm like,
thing going on in the chat now,
King,
man.
let me tell you, King is soft. I struggled last night. I said I'm gonna debut it, but I couldn't. I was like, I can't believe I'm leaving. You know
how many consoles I gotta leave out in my head that I was just thinking about.
It's tougher than picking the franchises of the games. It's much
tougher. And how I ended up making mine, I said, okay, I gotta make some tough calls. So, like, I wanted to put like 3-0 in there, a couple people in there. You know what I'm saying? Like N64 for me, so you know how I feel about it. So it's just like what I had to do for myself. I said, okay. My personal experience, like what Xbox did, like he took it to his heart, like what made him game the most on those consoles. And the second thing, I also looked at longevity, because also there was some systems that came out, but it was like they just had a short run. You know what I mean?
The burst.
So I was just like, damn, I can't have you. You know
Jaguar.
Jaguar. Listen. If anybody say Jaguars on their lips, they're out of control. I gotta throw them in their bush. They gotta go. I don't care what they say. They can say Alien versus Predator. You're gonna have to get in the bushes, sir. And I do not want you to come out there out of that bushes. No. Don't do not. I had that system too.
So this Lord King drinking a beer. No doubt. But we gonna move on. So it pretty much got what you were playing, Lord Xbox. You said you're playing a lot of Destiny, obviously, this week. Okay, so let's get into Lord Addict, man. What you been playing? If he's alive.
Pretty much.
He said, pretty much I'm in the bushes. Help. I'm in the bushes. Help.
What you been playing, Addict?
Pretty much just We Happy Few, and that's all.
Oh, okay. So you've been around. We're gonna get to that topic as well.
I can't wait to hear what he thinks about that game.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that. Lord Saw, what you been playing?
Saying like I've still been playing Hollow Knight. Talking about Metroidvanias and Super Metroid being Xbox's favorite game.
Mhm.
There are 3 right now that have my attention on the Switch. It's Iconoclast, it is
Nice.
Hollow Knight, and it's
Nice.
that damn Dead Cells.
Which we
All
will
that.
get into. There's a lot to
Oh,
talk
bro.
about. All that goes on around
Yeah.
Dead Cell.
By the way, and just a disclaimer: all my opinions on Dead Cells are fabricated. Thank you very much.
Those are yours.
I took them from everywhere, so but that and I actually I didn't get to play Destiny get online till like this morning.
Yeah, because you was frauding, bro. You frauded it out. Yeah, I'll be there. I'm gonna show up.
But I finally listen. From here on out, I'm not playing Destiny. I'm not playing solo Destiny anymore. Listen,
all right.
I stuck
you
around.
made that proclamation last week.
No, I didn't. I said I was going to finish. I said I was going to finish Curse of Osiris. I said I was going to finish Curse of Osiris. I was going to finish Warmind, and then I was going to play online. So I got to finish those. I didn't get to do much else. But the thing is, the story aspects of those 2 particular things, like it's like great. Like Curse of Osiris.
Oh, trash. No. Listen, the Destiny community agrees with you. like
and then Warmind, I was like,
Warmind was better, man.
I like Lance Reddick, but his voice as Zavala just pisses me off. I'm tired of it. Everything he says is some grand proclamation. And
yeah, you disrespect Lieutenant Daniels from The Wire. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I like him in The Wire. I love him in The Wire.
You gotta stop going at Chuck Bodak like that. We ain't gonna have that in this.
Yo, DJ Singh coming for you, Saab. He said, Lord Fraud, no bomb chicken? What happened?
It pulled me away from bomb chicken. Yeah, that bomb chicken's there. You know, like that's the beauty of the Switch. The Switch, I can switch to whatever I want whenever I want,
and you can switch it off too.
Hey man, just because.
I'm gonna surprise you with something in a second, though.
That was good.
Of course, because he plays it. Don't let King fool you with all his rhetoric.
No, I can't fool you because I'm always online on my Xbox from 5 to 7.
So that's what's up. That's what you rocking.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's it.
Lord King, what you surprising us with? What you been rocking?
All right. Well, this week I got all my characters to Masterworks and Destiny. So we all at 405. We rocking out here. Got shout out to all the clans mates who actually play with each other. What up, Xbox? And shout out to Jay Fonzarelli.
I'm recruiting.
Yo, listen. I want to give a big shout out to Jay Fonzarelli because we was in the raid and we definitely went through and we definitely had a good time. So I want him to understand that he's always welcome every time we play. He games. He's dual gaming. He's on PlayStation. He's on Xbox.
That's what I'm saying. He got 2 full-time Destiny jobs.
Yeah, he's out of control. He's really out there.
I don't know how he does
it. Doing it. Mm-hmm. But went from Destiny because I did all my stuff there. So I ran back to my second love, PUBG. Oh man, that update, that game is running so smooth.
That last night, man.
It's good, right? They definitely fixed up a whole bunch of stuff.
For us. He said he sent clan invites out, no responses.
No, Brap, you straight fraud. All right, I'm gonna look you in your eyes and tell you straight frauding because anytime that I'm doing something, I'm calling for Brap. Always. So you, my man, are frauding right now. Don't let me blow up that spot. You're frauding.
Rap's saying that you're saying that he's whack, so he can't be in the clan. That's what he said.
No, that's a lie. I'm not saying that. Hey, Brap, cut that out. Cut that out. You running at 30 frames per second. We running at 60, but you in there. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you. That was a joke.
Yo, Jay Thompson, really, thanks for defending us. He said Brap has been in the party chats. He don't.
Thank you.
Messages on
Thank you. Jay know the truth.
Slobo said Brap fraud. Facts.
Yes. Listen. Jay Fonzarelli knows Brap is nowhere to be found.
Continue.
Octopath Traveler. I started it up on yesterday because I had to go into work or whatever and cover some bases over there. So while I had 2 hours to kill, I grabbed my Switch. My kids looked at me like he was taking the Switch. So So I had to make sure I did all my updates before I left.
Oh,
I put the game in. Yeah, because I don't whatchamacallit. I don't buy digital downloads mostly. If I can get the game physical, I really like that.
Yeah.
So I got it. I updated it right there. And I shot out, and I had to take my glasses because the text is so small. But you don't really need to read the text because everything is vocal. That game took me back to one of my best games is Final Fantasy 3, and that feeling of playing that game, I was like, yo, they hit the nail on the head. It was retro, but it's current.
Yeah.
And I said, man, this game, I know. I said, I'm going home, and you're not gonna see me on Destiny for like a couple of hours in the day, but I'm gonna give time to that game because they got it. It's like you know how Xbox just said with Sunset Overdrive, like they got it. Yeah. I was craving for this type of game, and I know somebody says long-winded when they're talking. Yeah, maybe that was so. Yeah, but I want that. And they talking, they're talking. They're not like
they got the vocals as well. Like, okay, you know what? That keeps me interested. You get the inflection of the character and what he's feeling.
It took me back to Sovereign. Remember Ease when we got Ease? Well, some people pronounce it Wise. No, not Sega CD. Not Sega CD. I purchased it for Turbo Graphic CD.
Oh yeah,
I had the original.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's when the first time I saw full screen cartoon and voice.
And that music. Oh
yeah, fantastic.
So that's definitely
Octopath.
If you got a Switch and you want that Japanese RPG real feel, like that old school current, go get it. Go get it and play it. Go get it. It's what's up. I like it.
Man, for me, I've obviously been work, life getting in the way, so I haven't been online a lot this week. But few chances I got, I've been rocking Crucible. Like I was telling Xbot earlier, I did a little bit of Solstice Armor, but this following week I'm going to get back on my Dizzle for that.
Oh, Crucible, they're doing people dirty on something here.
Yeah, man.
Double XP, the double Valor, and then the triple Valor. I thought that Ghost Shell would be something.
Yeah.
Yo, you know why they did that, Xbot?
So everybody gets everything, man.
You know why this weekend they debuted that, or they had that going on, and they had escalation protocol and all this other stuff popping in their way. I've noticed Call of Duty came out.
But they kind of stay out of each other's way. You know what I mean?
But I saw my friends list. I'm looking at my friends list, and dudes is playing. Yeah, I'm like, what's going on?
Matter of fact, I take that back. You're all right, because it was the beta this week. Yeah.
Yep, and they said double XP, and then they came back.
Yeah, and it's one of them triple
trolling.
Yeah, we talk.
Yeah, people want that Ghost Shell because it's got the faction consumables that you can obtain it in Strikes and Crucible, on the same Ghost Shell, man.
Yep, me and you, Xbox, had talked about that, how important it is. It's like now we kind of feel like, damn, they taking away.
They just want to give it to everybody.
Yeah, like they making it that special that everybody gonna rock. But I feel what you said. So I've been doing that. I'm trying to get, if y'all doing the escalation protocol after the joint, I'm definitely doing it with y'all. I need to get those guns so that I can get the sleeper stimulant.
Dude, I want the armor. I think the armor looks incredible.
I got all the armor. I just need those guns. I don't have now one.
I don't have now one gun either. What you got, man? All right, I'm saying. I armor.
I got. Well, you know what? If you was hanging out with me, you would have it.
I knew it.
I knew that was coming next. You knew it. So for me, it's all about. I want to shout out a friend to the realm, Lord Mikey Barra, man. And he had me so jelly, man. Xbot, he had put up a picture of the Regix Claymore that he just got. I'm so excited. And as Xbot, when you talk, like, how many? It's only like what, 5,000? Like, it's just so small.
Only like a little less than 3,000 people right now have that thing.
Out of the entire you know how small it is. So I'm on my grind with that. Clan mates, let's go. If not, y'all gonna have me use LFP.
You gotta get the ornament for it. Oh man, come on.
Facts, you know what I'm saying? So we're doing that. So yeah, me jelly with that, but I'm back on there on the grind. So let's get into this poll. Let's get the show moving. All right. So last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question: with the continued financial success of Nintendo's mini consoles, do you ultimately think this will negatively affect the success of the Nintendo Switch moving forward? History was made today, Lords. The winner at 37% in the tightest three-way ILP poll ever was the I don't care. The Nintendo Online app is trash group.
Yes.
God, in ILP history, the shallowest lords have won an ILP
Thank you.
poll.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Coveted at a razor close second place at 33% was the Nintendo Switch was already on the decline group. And sadly for us all, coming in at a super close third at 30% was the Switch software still dominates NPD group. Thanks to all you awful, terrible lords who participated in this poll. What in the world do the lords think about this? Let's start
Justice has been served.
on this. I'm curious.
You want to know what I feel about?
I need Addict first. I want to know where he at with this.
I mean, did anyone expect different?
Oh my God!
Oh,
Who did you pay to cheat? To skew the vote?
Yeah, King. There's a lot of people with ILP T-shirts out there now. Just random people, like people walking down the street with ILP T-shirts.
An Addict payoff to skew.
I told him, I said, listen,
happened.
make sure you vote for the right candidate.
Unbelievable. Lord Xbot and Lord Saw. I need y'all on this, man. Just what y'all think, just in general. Basic. People think just like we don't even care. What's the online is trash with that.
Well, it just shows that, you know, how far we've come in gaming and what people expect from a gaming system. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you got to have a stable online infrastructure, you know, if you want to call yourself
like
a
you
console,
not
man.
pleased, sir. So you not
Why
pleased.
you throwing salt in our wounds?
It is what it is, man. When I heard, like, you guys, if you follow me at all, you know, I call the Switch, I say it is the strongest, it is the most powerful tablet out there. I call it a handheld, man, and that's what it is. And if they didn't use the word console with this, I don't think people would be expecting as much in terms of like what Xbox or what PlayStation gives to people, the foundation of features there. And that's what it's kind of biting them in the ass, you know.
No, it's about minus and not plus with them. They're on the minus side.
He said, time October. He said King told everybody to vote for option C, or he throw them in the bush. No, that's soft, man. What are we gonna do, man? Listen,
I can't say I completely disagree. Like,
you trying?
No.
You need to be alone.
I am the one. Am I not the one that said? Am I not the one that said? Hey, it's $20. You get what you pay for. Like, you know, hey, I'm not gonna be mad at them either way. Like, it's $20. Whatever I get, I get. I don't really care either way. The fact that that one though,
that hurts my heart. Addict and King have something to do with this. Like, they be wanting the world to burn. So it's like when I'm like, wait, I can read it 3 times. I'm like, what? Off with their head. That's what I say. That was it, man. That was a wild one. I literally laughed so hard. When
I'm so happy right now.
I know. He loves the world burning.
He hears the story right now.
We got a poll cooking up at the end. Make sure you stay tuned. Let's get into these topics, man. And this one, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, I didn't want to even cover this topic. It's been beaten to the death. We all know about the IGN plagiarism fiasco, and but yet some new developments happened, and it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh no,
that was just crazy.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna start from the beginning. All right, Lord Self, we're gonna help me out here because obviously we had the former IGN editor. Can I pronounce his last name? Philip Music. Musin. Okay, so right, he was the editor, and you know the review of the game in question was Dead Cells, and the YouTuber that this whole thing kind of originated with was Boomstick Gaming. And for the record, that's not our beloved Mr. Boomstick. Yo, mad people hit up my DMs. I ain't gonna put you out there, Cat Daddy, but it was so funny. But I had to do it because it was funny.
Said, I'm not gonna put you out there, Cat Daddy.
I'm not gonna put you. I love you, bro. I love you, but it was so funny. Even you laughed. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, go eat. Like all ILP was on deck with the hammers. Like, no, they did not go for all Boomstick Excel. You know what I'm saying? So it's not Mr. Boom XL from Crossfire or Peeps, you know what I'm saying? But it's Boomstick Gaming. And basically, let's get it down from the beginning. Let's just set it up, and then I'm gonna let everybody kind of get into it. But let's see. Did you see the actual video of Boomstick Soft?
Yeah, I saw the Boomsticks video.
Mm-hmm.
So IGN's Dead Cell review came out a few days after Boomsticks. And then Boomstick put up a video saying IGN plagiarized my Dead Cells review. What should I do? And in the video, he went step by step, scene by scene, saying what was plagiarized and what was, and the thing about it is, Philip Mewson, what he did was he changed wording, he changed certain things about what was said, but the most obvious thing in plagiarism, obviously, if you copy word for word, that's going to be seen. Right. But the second most obvious thing is that when your ideas follow suit exactly with the original author, that's a dead giveaway that you're copying. Because if you put 100 people in a room and ask them to write 3 paragraphs about the same thing, no 2 people's ideas are going to follow suit the same way. It's just not going to happen. People don't think the same way. Right. Like, people are going to write differently. So the fact that his ideas followed exactly what Boomsticks did, that was a huge red flag. So he put that up. That gained a lot of traction, and it got back to IGN to the point where IGN decided to pull their Dead Cells review and investigate. And within 24 hours, they had determined
it took 24 hours. I could take 5 minutes.
Oh, it's
they did a thorough investigation, so to speak.
They did a thorough investigation. They wanted to make sure they got out there and had a unified message. And 24 hours later, Philip Mewson had been let go. And they said, they said what they're supposed to say, that is absolutely 100% against what they're about. They had, honestly, for them, it's one of those things where they trust their writers, and they never thought they would have to do something like this.
Right. So overall, let's start with Lord Xbot448. Obviously, we know about the situation. You know what I'm saying? Then we had the video and all subsequent stuff. But what was your take on this thing, Lord Xbot? Like once the news broke.
All right. Now you guys got to know how I feel about big gaming media this generation. I feel like they have been completely slanted all the way through this generation. So
bias?
There is something like that out there, man. Believe it or not. I'm even starting a new podcast within the next month or so that's going to focus more. It's going to focus more on kind of like the up and coming YouTubers, the people who are building their channels because they're tired of the IGNs, the GameSpots, and stuff like that. And I really want to bring a focus on those YouTubers coming up. But it didn't surprise me, man. And I don't think that it's just this one person either. I think there's a lot of actions when it comes to these big gaming media sites. There's a lot of things that happen behind closed doors that I would be very suspicious about. You know what I'm saying? I don't think their practices are all, coming from the Boy Scouts per se. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things this generation has been about clicks, has been about, getting views and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of the big gaming media out there, they lost the focus on the gaming industry and what the gamer is about, man.
All right, let me ask you a specific question, because you mentioned media bias, and I know that has come up. Y'all gonna love the poll later. But what I was gonna say is like in this particular case, Lord Xbox, do you think how do you rationalize his decision to do it? Like what do you think was on his mind? I mean, obviously we're not mind readers, but just based on what the information we have.
I don't judge people, individuals, right? Because I feel like I don't know their world. I don't know their life. He could have had a lot of stuff going on at home. The same way a lot of people do with their regular job. They have to get certain things done, but there's a lot of stuff going on at home. There's a really high stress level, and he couldn't get it done himself, but he had to make his quota. So he might have, chosen the wrong thing to do. All right. We don't know if there was a lot of pressure from the people above him as well to get something out. We don't know about that. So I'm not going to judge anybody personally.
The problem with that is that they've already been cited. The 3
I got that. I was about to go in on that part.
I gotta give Jason Schreier a shout out. Like Jason Schreier, like when it comes to reporting, this is his ether. Like he just came back with more and more and more facts. They were talking about Jason Schreier, how he said he tends to big up Sony and not and shoot down Xbox. Whatever you think about Jason Schreier, the man's reporting is on point. And he came out there, and after this came out, he then the FIFA 18 Switch review came into question, which before he joined IGN. And then after that, when Philip came out with his quote unquote apology video, which we'll get into that in a second.
We'll get into that. I got some words.
Jason Schreier came back with yet another game, which was Metroid: Samus Returns, which came out last year for the 3DS.
What about? Yo, can I just say something real quick? I do not condone plagiarism. All right, I the action itself is negative, and we shouldn't have to deal with it. But at the end of the day, I am not anybody's judge.
You're irrelevant, stupid. I just irrelevant. Xbox says you can plagiarize.
I condone plagiarism. Like, no, my whole thing. I have a belief system. I can look negatively at an action, but I am nobody's judge. I'm not going to say this person's a bad person or that person's a bad person. I am not in a place to judge anybody. I don't know anybody's life. I'm not saying that. It is the thing to do, and everybody should go out there and start copying this person or that person. I'm not saying that it's wrong that it's done that, but I can look with you know that it was the wrong decision, but not
right. It's objectively, I don't know the man. I don't know what he how nice of a person he is, whatever. What I do know is that what he did was objectively wrong.
Let's get other people's opinions on this.
Objectively wrong. First of all, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yo, first of all, let's shout out to Lord Dizzy in the building, snuck through the back door. What's going on, Lord Dizzy?
Oh, you know.
What's up, baby? I know you ain't got a lot of time, so I want to get you in, and I want to get you an addict in because, you know, we're at the realm of the laws. We got to hear everybody's side, even stuff that we disagree with. And you've been getting some heat, Dizzy, on Twitter. You've been getting not even from your mates.
How's that QuakeCon, sir? How's that QuakeCon?
Yo, salute to the QuakeCon shout.
Yeah, QuakeCon was fun. Yeah. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this one thing about QuakeCon and something about Bethesda. And if you are a Switch owner, I'm not going to get into details.
Okay.
But let me tell you, they love the Switch.
Okay, so we got some things coming.
I'll leave it at that.
All right, fair enough.
Doom's coming to the Switch, the new one.
Yeah, the Eternal Drive.
Oh, it's more than that, baby. It's more than that.
Okay.
Right
on. Yeah. QuakeCon was fun.
That's what's up, man.
Okay.
QuakeCon repping the ILP. But I need your opinion on this. This is a hot one.
Eternal, man.
This is a hot one. What's going on?
They've been going that Dizzy, so I want to hear his opinion.
So now I when I made my post, I knew I was going to get flack, but I made it for a reason. And I simply put, I said that I would not have fired Philip, you know, essentially if I was IGN. And the reason being, and it's not because of what Philip did. What he did, you definitely can't condone that. You know, me, you know, being a former, you know, PBG, you know, from PBG.
No, baby, you're right, man. You get busy.
So I know all of the editing and all the stuff that you have to go behind that. My whole point, and I knew what I was trying to do is pretty much strike up a conversation that, you know, we really are going at this individual, but we're not looking at the bigger scope of what's going on over at IGN.
Break it down.
The fact of the matter is that this individual, he has never written anything before for IGN in this kind of manner. And the very first thing that you're going to have him do is edit his own work.
You're going on the same page addict.
Okay, so granted, so with a video, yeah, it's probably going to be very hard for somebody to be able to see.
Welcome to the club, Dizzy. Welcome to the club, man.
So be it. So yes, both and with a video, yes, maybe you're probably not going to find the matchup and everything, and this does take some digging and everything. And again, you shouldn't be plagiarizing. But the thing that kind of bothers me is he's never done this before. This is going to be his first ride. So essentially, Daddy gave kid the keys to the car, let the kid crash the car, and is going to take no responsibility in that kind of manner.
So basically, you feeling they're throwing him under the bus. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you. I'm sorry, continue.
Oh, no, you're good. So what's going on with all the other writers? Like, are they editing their own work? What's going on? Like, this can't be limited to just him. It can't be.
Okay.
I don't think that the editing has anything to do with them having had some sort of vetting process for like checking for plagiarism beforehand. I don't think they had that. So editing is one thing. Vetting for like.
Can I talk?
Let Addict get it. He hasn't got a chance to talk to you because Addict has said some stuff to me offline, and I just want to get both sides here because Dizzy says some important points that's a lot of people are upset with in the chat. But say Addict, get in there, man. What do you feel too?
At the end of the day, this dude deserved to lose his job. I believe people who are doing death threats, you guys are going way too far. But anyway, like at the end of the day, this dude does. I mean, he's been proven plagiarism like 3 times already, so he needed to lose his job.
Right.
But I think the bigger problem is like what Dizzy said. IGN needs to get their shit together.
All right. So basically, let's get y'all main point, right? So for people that's attacking, because everyone's like, shut his mic off. They going hard at this. It's the home. Now, I just want to clarify this. Your whole thing is you're not condoning plagiarism, right? You're just saying,
I don't think anyone's condoning plagiarism.
Right. We just got to say that for irrelevant later because he's going hard. He putting out news flashpoints. He going hard. But like basically what y'all saying is that he should have never been in the position in the first place, being that he's really never written an article. And I don't know his history as far as complete length of time, but from what I know from basically seeing him on one of their podcast shows that they have, it doesn't feel like he's been around that long. So is that what you're getting at, Diz? That like that IGN should claim some responsibility for even putting him in that position?
Exactly. I don't understand what the concept, and it's not that they were going to find anything anyways because it was an audio work, and I mean that's a lot that you have to do. But if there
should have been a process at least done. Like
there should have been a process at least done, and that's what's more concerning to me is what about all the other work that's going on over at IGN? Are they going through the same thing, or are they doing their own stuff? That's my issue that they may have going.
I feel like
everybody's oversimplifying this whole situation.
I feel like
let him say his point because it's not what y'all saying.
This dude deserved to lose his job. But at the end of the day, I just can't. Like, I can't comprehend. I didn't know it was the first work he made, but I can't comprehend why anyone is writing and no one's checking their work. Like, I just don't get how they're. I mean, it makes no sense to me. Like, this dude deserved to lose his job, and I love how everyone in the comment section is acting like we're literally like, let's say Philip deserves his job. No one is saying that. So go ahead, stop with the nonsense.
Okay.
Philip deserved to lose his job. But, I feel like IGN needs to restructure how they do things because this was too easy for him to do this.
All right. And Dizzy, I got to get at you because I saw some tweets. Now, you did say that basically IGN is kind of throwing him under the bus to wipe their hands from the situation, and that you yourself said, I got to quote you, that you would have not fired him. So what would you have done? Could you ever trust a person like that again if you keep him?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, if I was IGN, I would expect him to resign. Absolutely. He should.
So you would have gave him the opportunity to walk away.
So then, what if
having a strike against his record?
Right. So hypothetically, if Philip say I want to keep my job, then in your scenario, like, would you allow him to stay on?
No, he would not be getting the pieces that he would think that he would be getting. Absolutely not.
Okay, so you just sitting there and starve him to death until he just eventually quit.
So you basically,
you can't trust him in that kind of manner anymore. Because
all right. Coming from a CEO's position,
let's go.
Coming from a boss position, coming from an owner position, if you catch your employee stealing, because this is theft. All right, let's not get to the point where we're misconstrued in what he has done. He has stole from another person. He has stole from a smaller person's work. He was in a position where it was a conscious thought. All right, now it's not a conscious thought as a snap judgment, like as swiping money from the till. No. This brother sat there and actively put a piece together, knew it was fraudulent when he was doing it, and then he actually produced it. So it's a process of
you can accidentally fall into that.
It's steps of fraudery all the way through. So this man knew what he was doing. He knew that he was stealing, and he knew that he has done it before. See, he's just getting caught now. So this is the mentality of a thief. A thief, if he's never gotten caught, he will continue to steal. Now, I'm not going to put the onus on IGN. I'm not putting the onus on IGN. I'm putting the onus on the thief. IGN
but
didn't
no one
catch the thief.
I just don't
somebody,
get. I don't get how you're saying that no
thief.
one's not calling him out. Like, I don't get that.
I'm calling this guy out. He's a thief.
But
he's a fraud and a thief.
I don't get how saying this dude should lose his job, but IGN should probably restructure how they do things is a bad thing to say. Like
that's not a bad thing to say, but
everyone's acting like it is.
Listen, after loss prevention,
we're not blaming IGN. The IGN isn't to blame, but listen, shit needs to change over there.
But you're talking, okay, all those people that's saying that are employees. I'm telling you from a boss's position.
So
right?
when did you do you own a news outlet? Do you own anything like that? Do you
no,
own
but
anything that can relate to this?
Listen, I actually own businesses that actually can relate to this. If you ever had somebody steal from you, do you let them back in your house? You can relate to that,
We're
can
not
you?
even talking about this.
It's stealing. He's actually stealing.
But
I'm giving it to you in a simple form that you can understand.
It's one thing to listen. We all. I'm gonna jump in for a little bit, and then I'm gonna give it back to King because this is really King's point. But it's one thing to listen. We all listen to each other, and we all have ideas, and great minds gonna think alike, right? There's gonna be some ideas that are similar, but this is structural phrasing, and you're structurally taking phrases and and putting them completely. And some of them, the majority of it was verbatim.
Here's the deal, man. At the end of the day, there's something called you reap what you sow. Like I feel like he should have lost his job. Okay. All right. I feel like that is the repercussion to
why is that in question? Like why is that part in question? But when you get caught stealing, you go to jail. When you get caught stealing, you get fired. When you get caught stealing, you get reprimanded. All right, back to the topic.
The question.
All right, I'm not even listening to Attic.
All right.
I'm listen.
If you ain't gonna listen to me, what's the point of me being?
I'm not listening to what you're saying because you're not letting me finish my point. I sat there and allowed you to finish your point. I let you finish your point.
Let him finish, and then we're gonna give it back to you.
Constantly jumping inside somebody's point. Now, anyway, so that you can't sit there and blame IGN for an employee stealing. Now, if they would have kept the employee working after it came out that he stole, then you blame IGN. Now, hopefully there is things in place once they have their like loss prevention people come in to check everybody's work to go back, because it has came out that this guy has stole before. So it's not an isolated incident where Tommy made a mistake. No, Tommy's been a thief. He's just been a sneak thief. So now that we understand who and what we're dealing with, you take him out of the company. He no longer works for the company, and it's on the onus of the company. If this happens again, then the company is called into question. But he is a thief. That guy that he stole from, Mr. Boomstick, like I mean Boomstick Gaming, not Mr. Boomstick. When I saw it, I was really heartbroken because I thought it was Mr. Boomstick. I was really heartbroken, and I was like, man, he's such a nice guy. So, and then when I DM'd you and you was like, nah, it's not him. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But it's not cool. But I was like, oh, it's not somebody that we just had on the show or whatever, because it really messed me up. And I watched the video and I listened to all the stuff, and I'm like, man, this guy actively, consciously thought about this whole process all the way through, and he hit send. All right? So we have to, that man is in question, not IGN. Now, afterwards, if it happens again, is IGN.
All right, let me throw it back to Attic because he wants to get his point on. And also, I got a question for Attic. This is from Brap. He says, Attic, what is the solution? It's easy for us to say IGN needs to revamp their process, but we're also assuming that they don't have one in place. And what would you do, Attic, to catch a thief? So, Attic, let's give it back to you because your whole thing is, I think we all, shout out to Jonathan B, we all agree with each other on some point. I think the issue that we're having some issue with is IGN's role, and I think that's what Attic is saying.
Great point.
I think
man.
that's what
it is. Right
Dizzy is saying. So, Attic, I'm gonna give it back to you to defend your stance. What do you say to that about what could have IGN done better if someone's just stealing?
I mean, at the end of the day, none of us run a multi-million-dollar media outlet.
I could just give me the keys.
I'm literally, I've never went to school for any kind of media. Like, I can't give you an answer. All I'm saying is this man was doing his first article and he was reviewing his own stuff. Like, how is that not a problem? Like,
okay, but how is IGN supposed to catch a guy like that? What can you realistically do if you have an employee that, if you have set guidelines, if they have set guidelines, because we don't know, right? What can you do? How can you have a preventative measure if someone goes off the cuff and does their own thing?
I think what Attic was trying to say is when it comes down to it and you get into the editing and stuff like that, there should be a separate team there that puts it together to check exactly what's going on and to check the information, not necessarily the reviewer's opinion, but to make sure that they are giving their own review. And I think what Attic is saying that is that they are a big enough company that should already be in place, and he should never be editing his own
stuff. Okay, gotcha. And then let me give it back to Dizzy because he's the one that shout out to Relevant Native. Like Brad said, throw the grenade and ran away. You got everybody fighting. Yo, Dizzy, get back in there because I know you don't got a lot of time, man. I want you to defend your stance, and then I'm gonna go because I'm gonna go long. So
yeah, I mean, I go back to the same thing that somebody made the argument to me about what I was saying was journalistic integrity. That's what Xbot said, and exactly what Addict is saying is how do you try to defend it as journalistic integrity when anybody who works in the writing or any kind of reviews or anything like that, we know that there are editors in place for a reason, right? And so whether he was caught or not, this is your first piece of work, and this is what they were going to do. They were going to have him edit his first piece of work. That just doesn't sound right to me. So what is going on with all of the other ones? Are they having them edit their own stuff?
That's so you're saying as an editor, like almost like a checks and balances system. Like, how is
where was that at?
At the end of the day, like maybe if he would have been kept up to date on what he was publishing, we could have caught him sooner. Like, this is the third one he's done. Like,
okay. Relevant Native, he's started so much job. Attic is sympathizing. Attic is in the bushes with Philip.
Oh my god.
He's joking, man. Don't take it.
Yo, native is cool, man.
Native is cool, peace, man. Relax. He's fair. Look, let me jump in. I'm gonna go long because this one really bothered me. Like, this is tough because at the end of the day, I know all the parties involved. You know what I'm saying? And first of all, I want to shout out to my man, Lord Brandon Tyrell from IGN. He did the right thing. He did the re-review. And also, I want to kind of give you the history. Like, Lord Jose Otero, that's my dude. He was the Boogie Down vet, the host of NVC. That's how I first even came in contact with Philip, right? Because when Jose Otero left, I'm going to be real soft, I kind of fell off from the show. It lost its...
Absolutely. They had Per Schneider hosting for a while, and they were looking for a host.
They were looking for a host. They really didn't find their way. And no disrespect to none of those guys. I love Per. I love all of them. I met them all personally. They're great, good people. But at the end of the day, just didn't have it when Jose left. So then I watched one time, I think it was right around the time when the hacking stuff came out. And that's when I seen Philip. And I'm like, okay, this must be the new host. Let me check him out. And I was like, yo, the young boy got something. The young Lord, he's good. He's energetic. I like the energy. He had good news. I was really rocking with him. I said, yo, Nintendo Voice Chat Podcast, they back, right? And I was like, he's super talented. And then it's like, okay, the plagiarism accusations come out. I try to be cool. Let's see what he say. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, plagiarism is inexcusable. There's no defending it. I don't care about your deadlines. I don't care about the stress. You are a paid journalist there to exude integrity and professionalism, while most YouTubers don't have those guidelines, right? And I said the whole great minds can think alike. But when you copying entire structural phrases, copy and paste, that's not a go, right? So then it's like, okay, he comes out with the video response. So I'm like, all right, let's see what he got to say. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me started with this damn response. No accountability, right? No remorse. Like the whole thing was like, stop attacking me and my family. He didn't apologize.
He apologized to IGN.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Attacking him is one thing, but his family, I think
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but my thing is, right, no one's justifying that, but he's not taking accountability. He's not saying.
I mean, I don't really think it matters if he takes accountability. Attacking someone's family is ridiculous.
But that's not the point. You put yourself in that situation. Your act, not you, addict. Philip's actions. You know what I'm saying? Made him, he has to down that sword. That's what he did. Now, granted, no one's saying attack his family members. You know how the internet is. The internet's stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not justifying that, for them to go after that man's family. But at the end of the day, it's like watching his video was like watching a drug addict who's a plagiarizer. Like
in the middle of interventions, like I ain't got a problem, man.
Thank you, Xbot. It's like you got to have an honest evaluation of yourself, though. At some point, you have to have admission of the problem. You know what I'm saying? If you use the Quentin Miller bars for your verses, that's what you did. Like that's just what it is. So
we went to Drake.
You know, I did a little shot.
But listen, I told you can't mention Drake because you sold him to the dark skin community.
Yes, yeah, showed him to the dark skin crew. Yeah, that's how I represent.
Push the T. Talk about push it.
No doubt. So yeah, shout out to my man Lord Richard Hogue, you know, gaming lawyer out there. Please follow this man. It's a great guy on Twitter. Like even he said as a lawyer, that was a terrible move to even do the video without any like you ethered yourself. You were soft. He had the nerve.
Unmitigated gall
to start and direct some diss bars towards Jason Schreier. And was like, Kotaku, go see what you find. And Schreier from New York.
and then Schreier said, okay, no doubt, I got you.
When he put the SpongeBob music and said moments later, I basically died.
They put up a video called Grand Theft Author.
Not only did he eat them, he's like, well, you people that plagiarize, that's usually not the first time. You know what I'm saying? And he got the Engadget article where he did Samus Returns. He did his phrase there from Nintendo Life for FIFA 18. It's this whole thing, man. It's just sad. It's like I really like the kid. The thing that hurts is that I know Xbot how you feel. Like this is why people say media bias. This is why people.
Well, Cognito, this is what I was gonna say. Like if you notice with this generation, like I said, these systems come with game DVR and stuff like that. There is a lot of passionate gamers out there. There are a lot of gamers that don't have that sub count that are doing quality content. And what I want to say is, and this is reaching out to the gaming community. I know we have leaned on IGN, on GameSpot, on all these like big gaming media sites, but it is so wide open now. Why not go and support those YouTubers that are?
I feel where you're going, and I just got to cut you 1 second because at the end of the day, listen, you're right, you are right, but I got to give IGN this. At the end of the day, let's be clear. This is one isolated man's issue. This is one guy.
Didn't Alana also leave IGN? And at some point in time, she was hinting to the fact that they were looking for clicks and views this generation.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? That right there.
I'm gonna finish
that's me chirping.
I'm sorry. Yes, off.
Look, I understand Dizzy's point. I understand Addict's point with that the overarching narrative that IGN is overworking its writers. Alana, after she left, she specifically said, it was really hard. Like it was a lot of stuff. I was in the office all the time. And I go back to something that King said way back when. He's like, this is the leading media company in gaming.
Facts.
You know how they stay there? By trying to be ahead of the curve, right? Especially now that they're under attack by people like us doing what we do. Like they have to evolve, they have to change, and in doing that, the work environment is probably pretty damn stressful. That it goes along with the territory of being number one. So I I understand that you can say, yeah, you know, there's certain practices that need to be addressed. I'm sure after this, there are a lot of things that are being addressed. After a lot of the issues that were going on at IGN with the sexual harassment claims and things like that, issues were addressed, right? So trust me that all of this stuff now moving forward is going to be handled in a certain. But the thing is, they're at the top. They're at the top. If you want to be there, guaranteed you're going to work really, really, really hard.
Right. Let me finish this up point. And shout out to Santo. He's making some great points that I don't want to overlook. Shout out to Eric Jackson too in the chat. Funny stuff. All right. He's saying it's simply not feasible for IGN to check for plagiarism before most pieces go live. He said this is Lord Editor something. He's saying this guy does his thing, especially something like a review where you assume the editor/reviewer in question understands the incredibly basic concept of writing your own work. And again, I just want to be clear. Like I said, we have to. I know IGN is getting it right now, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there is processes that need to be changed. All I'm saying is there are a lot of people over there that do fantastic work. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad to see everything that has happened as a result of this. But to me, it's more sadder that I can't defend this guy that I initially liked because he's not even taking accountability. If he would have just came in the beginning, I did it. I got to make it right with y'all. I know y'all don't trust me right now. Or just say, hey, this is what happened. I was completely overwhelmed or whatever. But to not even say those words nor apologize to the YouTuber he stole from. And to Xbot's point, I can't blame IGN all the way too because he had no experience really in that. I don't say no experience, but they basically grabbed him from YouTube. That's how they found him. They found him from YouTube. Now, whether or not where Dizzy and Attic may be right is whether or not he deserved the shot is another thing, right? But at the end of the day, they tried to give this YouTuber guy, and then he went and did his own thing. And like I said, it's just a sad situation. That's all I got on it. Unless you guys want to chirp in some more, let me know.
I think based on what he had done on YouTube and how he had performed at IGN to that point, in terms
he
of
was
like,
nice,
like charismatic
yo,
on the
I
show.
was rocking with this dude. I was like, yo, Nintendo voice chat is back.
I think there was no reason to assume that he didn't deserve that shot. And if you look at his video reviews, right, a lot of the written review is just verbatim what he says in the video because he's like, again, it's something that you're recording ahead of time, so you're not there's not a lot of like he's just he's talking as if he were writing. So a lot of that stuff just translates to the page. So there's no reason to think that he was incapable of writing a written review.
Absolutely. Master Shake says the same thing. He said, I was deceived too. I was hurt after seeing the video. Slow-mo. He didn't admit the plagiarism, but he thinks he has a shot at another job in this field. Yo, he's finished. You may be right. And that's probably why he's not doing it, because he's hoping his career finished. But
he had to pull the video down. You know that, right?
And then, shout out to Florence also. He had the, you know what pissed me off? He had the nerve to monetize the apology video. Bro. You can't be monetizing the apology video, fam. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's bad enough. You looking bad out here in these streets. But I don't know, man. I mean, Addict is. I'll let y'all rock out and then we can move on. Are y'all good?
I mean, if anybody wants an update of what IGN is actually doing, they're actually, from what I last saw, the co-CEO or the co-founder of IGN actually is reaching out to the to Boomstick about the monetization. I mean, if they really want to make things right, hey, I think Boomstick has a job now.
Deserve a shot. And I want to shout out Boomstick because at the end of the day, the only positive thing I see out of this is the boy got his channel.
He got to jump, man. Yeah, he got to jump. So huge shout out to him. Like, I gotta go and I want to check out his channel because you guys know I am down for common sense. I am down for true gamers making content out there and giving their opinions, doing decent reviews and stuff like that. So I gotta check out his channel, man. Yeah,
man, absolutely. And like I said, that's the positive thing. That, the guy, like you said, Xbot, these guys, you know what I'm saying, that don't got the subs and don't get that look. You know what I'm saying? At least this guy now, people are like, yo, this dude.
It's crazy because nowadays people are blowing up on YouTube when it comes to console wars and what they call the crumb side of things. So, dealing with drama and stuff like that. So that's why it's good to see like Iron Lord podcast, even to some extent, Next podcast. We're putting that common sense out there. We're talking about gaming, and we do our best to avoid. Of course, things are going to overlap in certain situations. I talked about kind of like. I'm really disappointed at a certain YouTuber out there. He goes by the name of the Red Dragon because I used to watch his stuff all the time. But if you watch his Twitter now, he's taking a hot poker into the console war thing because he got triggered emotionally. Where he used to be out there with common sense, now he is fallen more towards the line of dealing with drama and stuff like that, and he doesn't have to. His channel made it. You know what I'm saying? So
listen, I feel where you're going with that. First of all, salute to the Red Dragon. I like the Red Dragon. I'm going to put that out for myself. I really do like. I don't want to make this an attack on Red Dragon because I really got respect. As far as what you're saying, I know where you're going with it. I've heard the narrative. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard, I haven't heard much of it. So this is all I can say about that situation. Because I actually. Red Dragon going to supposed to be on the show at some point, and I don't want to mess that up. But it's not about that. Really, this is what it's about.
I know there are connections and stuff like that. But one thing you're always going to get from me, whenever you have me on, is I'm going to be honest.
No, be real, and I'm gonna be honest too. And here's how I feel about that. At the end of the day, if he started his channel on doing one thing or enjoying one platform, and then all of a sudden says, hey, you know what, I'm not feeling that platform, I don't like it anymore, I like this, or I like PC. But
that's all good, man.
That's all good. He has the right to do that. Now, there's going to be repercussions and stuff after that based on your base and based on how people perceive you. But I can't sit here on my platform and attack a man for wanting to do his channel his way. That's what I'm saying. And I would love to have him on and maybe have you, you know what I'm saying, and really have you guys talk about, what you guys feel about.
Dude, man, I was watching his like conspiracy videos and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I was watching his like complete like spectrum of content, and like what I saw on Twitter with asking like what
this ain't gonna go well. Let's leave this. Let's walk away from this.
Yeah, let's get right out of this.
This ain't gonna go well because this has absolutely zero to do with any topic. So let's leave that alone.
Leave it alone. Like I said, we will have him hopefully at some point, and like I said, hopefully at your point you guys can talk it out and whatever. But we're trying to stay clear of that. The job. We just keep keeping it cool. But man. So that's all I got really on this IGN plagiarism stuff. Lord Solve, what's going on there? Initiative.
So this is, let's get it. Oh, real quick, just to put the exclamation on the last topic. Play Dead
Let's
Cells.
bring it back, man.
Yeah, play Dead Cells, y'all. Play
Dead Cells, please. Fantastic game. Okay, so this topic is kind of twofold. First is me geeking out, fanboying out, and then a little bit of factual stuff. So the first thing is that shout out to Redditor Cobril for basically there's a rumor out there that there is some sort of letter of intent by Microsoft to purchase Obsidian Studios. Obsidian Studios. Bottom line, these guys were born to make RPGs. That's what they do. That's what they do best. These guys have produced some of the most hardcore sort of isometric RPGs. They've produced sequels in known series already, just like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. They did Fallout New Vegas. They've done Pillars of Eternity, their own stuff. These guys are RPG gods. And if this is true, man, oh man, to have them in the Microsoft fold, I kind of lost it because I was like,
you're Obsidian guy.
This is Obsidian. Obsidian is, if you look at them and the stuff that they've done, they've always been sort of, I don't want to say B tier, but there's really no way to acknowledge it. They've never had the money. They've never had the money around them to really do
excel,
to excel and really make a huge product. They did Fallout New Vegas under Bethesda, and a lot of people thought that the New Vegas story was better than Fallout 3 story. They did the Sith Lords, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which wasn't as well received as the original Knights of the Old Republic, but there were circumstances around that. So the thing is, if this is true, I'm just thinking about, $100 million budget, Obsidian RPG. I'm losing my mind. So I don't know what you guys think, but this had me geeking out because if Microsoft needs this,
one question before I pass it. I'm sorry, finish. They need a true, like a big stage kind of.
They just need if they have a true RPG studio in their fold that's just gonna focus on making stuff like that, that's a big plus.
No doubt. Now let's be clear on the situation. So what about this? First of all, I want to shout out Tick Podcast last night. Shout out to Sam, shout out to Cal, B Money, the crew. Anchor, where you at? I haven't seen you in a while. But I just want to say
said Anchor was out on a date.
Oh, okay. Egg was in the bushes. Egg was in the bushes. But shout out to them, we miss them on tech. And they really went in on this. And from my understanding, like I said, just want to correct me if I'm wrong. This whole thing centered around a letter of intent solve. Like this was
there was apparently somewhere floating out there. Someone saw this guy Cobrill or whoever,
right.
Saw a letter of intent from Microsoft to purchase Obsidian Entertainment.
And I want to salute Lord Sam because again, he's been up on this. He's been following this thing. So pretty much, you know what I'm saying, this guy who leaked this thing is pretty credible, right? He leaked I believe one of the Playground Studios things before it happened, when that happened and stuff like that. And again, shout out to Lord Sam. Please watch TikToks like last night. That was a really good podcast.
Yeah,
they brought out was that from my understanding that the Obsidian guys had signed it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So get Xbox, like, so pretty much they are like, yo, we want to get down with that movement. You know what I'm saying?
So the pitch for them to be bought out, which is great. Oh wow, okay. So I had that all backwards. Okay, yeah. So that's fantastic because that means that they and it makes sense for them because again, the last few things they've done, Pillars of Eternity and whatnot, it's all been crowdfunded. And these get funded very quickly because people know the expertise they have in the field. They know what they're capable of doing. So again, it's their realization that when they look at something like a Ninja Theory, or they look at something like Compulsion Games and what they're going to be able to make moving forward, having Microsoft's backing, I'd want a piece of that pie too.
Yeah, no doubt. South Santo. You know I got you, bro. Yeah, definitely big vibe. Shout out to Jonathan B. Obsidian slid in them DMs. No doubt. No doubt. So, Lord Xbox, when you hear like news like this, you know, what do you feel about this Obsidian thing?
Dude, this is something that, and I feel like this person is not getting the proper kind of like respect for doing this, and that is Phil Spencer himself.
Xbox only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior. Our Lord and Savior.
This is what Phil is looking like right now. That's exactly what Phil is looking like right now, like Thanos.
People were doubting.
You can't see.
People were doubting.
Oh, you got one? Or is your camera up? Or you back in the bushes? Back in the bushes.
If my camera is up, I can guarantee you could see.
Well, then would you put it up and stop talking about what you would do, woulda, coulda, shoulda? That's what's wrong with your generation. You always criticizing something but never doing. Stop criticizing. You in the bushes today.
But check this out. Yo, Phil said this in the beginning. He said he was going to deal with the power narrative, which he did, right? He was going to, for the shareholders on Microsoft side of things, getting, the Xbox app on multiple devices, getting that whole thing rolling. And he got that done. So the next thing he said was, bringing games to the platform. And people, he did 2 out of 3 things. And then people were kind of like questioning if he was going to do the third. Now, to do the first, he had to take money from the budget and make sure that the Xbox One X got out in a timely manner. So they didn't have all that money to spread around in terms of getting studios, getting other games kind of on lockdown and stuff like that. So we're kind of dealing with that whole reaction to that action right now. You know what I'm saying? We have like Sea of Thieves, we have Crackdown, Forza Horizon 4, but people are asking for more. So what does he do? This E3, you hear 5 studios, and now
Infinity Gauntlet moment.
Yeah, and then Ninja Theory, which was, oh my goodness, because I'm a huge Ninja Theory fan. I didn't necessarily like Hellblade, but I have been with Ninja Theory throughout kind of like the life of that studio, man. Even going back to like Kung Fu Chaos, on the OG Xbox, and dude, I absolutely love what they do. So even though Obsidian is the one that signed this deal, I do gotta say, I can see Phil kind of going over there and starting the talks with them, and the talk being so good that Obsidian signed that deal and said, "Yo, we're down. You ready?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's exciting. It's definitely exciting. Let me get Addict on this because I know he's been in this boat before with his beloved Fable, and Playground, that announcement and stuff like that. So what do you feel about this announcement with Obsidian in particular?
I don't really want to speculate on like literally no evidence, but
there's a letter. There is evidence. There's a letter of intent not evidence, but there's a letter of intent that was found by.
Has Microsoft confirmed that this document exists?
Well, it's the same thing with Fable. When we talked about the news when Fable came out, we didn't have any hard evidence at that point, but we talked about it.
Yeah, it's just, when it comes to Obsidian, they're a good developer. They made Fallout New Vegas, which is my favorite Fallout game. But I mean, I don't know if they can create their own IP and do the same. If that makes sense to you. Like they took the Star Wars brand because they were contracted to make that game. They did really well. They took the Fallout brand because they were contracted to make New Vegas and did really well. But like certain devs can't make their own world and do very well.
Right. So you're skeptical. You're not.
I mean, they'd be a nice pickup. They would, because I feel like they can make good RPGs. Okay. But I mean, I don't know.
You're like, pump the brakes. Let's see what they do first.
Well, I mean, let's see. There's a couple things. I got to see what kind of game they're going to make. Some studios would be like, yo, they're going to make some good RPG. And they're like, we're going to make a racer. Like, I don't know what they're going to make.
I feel you.
Even if they're purchased, I feel like between them and Playground and the Initiative, that's going to be like their pillars when it comes to action games.
If they don't get a
Ninja Theory on that,
if they don't get a second studio in at Obsidian, if they say they do get picked up, they're making RPGs like that. They're not doing anything else. That's all they.
Dizzy, we still in the building?
Yeah, man, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how long we had. I didn't know how long we had. Finish up Attic, then I'm giving it to Dizzy.
I mean, we'll have to see. I'm curious on. I would want them to stay towards their first person RPG. Because I really liked Fallout New Vegas. Like
that's what I was about to ask you, because New Vegas, like that, when I saw that was on their resume, I was like, yo, for the Fallout fans, that is arguably their favorite Fallout. You know what I'm saying? If we had Anchorman, he'd be going crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, that like
anything. And see, here's the thing: like Fallout 3, Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is my worst Fallout game. So. You know, I feel like Fallout 3 was good, but Fallout New Vegas that's what created the faction system. Like they got talent.
Facts.
They got talent, and I think the isometric RPG that they've made for years, it just doesn't, by look alone, it doesn't appeal to everyone. Right. Like it needs to be grander. It needs to be either a third-person RPG or first-person RPG. The isometric stuff just doesn't. As soon as some people see that, they run away. They're like, I don't want to.
How would you feel if they took one of the existing franchises and made it like an open world?
Hey, I'm all about reimagining stuff. You know how I feel about older Microsoft IPs being dormant and them not doing anything with it. So I'm about that.
How would you feel if Microsoft scored a deal with Disney and they rebooted the Knights of the Old Republic like a Star Wars game? Not exactly, because they can't do Knights of the Old Republic because there's a lot of issues that Disney has with that world. Disney's not about the violence, and there's not much in the Old Republic.
They're not about that murdering.
And that's all the Old Republic is we killing everybody. So if they like rebranded it and brought it to the new age, how Disney inspires, and Disney can make games, they just want certain guidelines to be followed.
No doubt.
How would you feel if they did that?
I think that would be great, and I think that would be an option for them, because I think that the CEO said it. Fergus Urquhart, he said it before. He's like, I like making games in other people's worlds because you have set parameters to work with, but then they give you the freedom to do what you want within those parameters. So it's, you know, like you said, maybe they're not necessarily equipped to build their own IP and build something huge out of that, but they seem to be happy working in other people's worlds as well. So
I just want to say two things. I'll get you, Xbox. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Yeah, pretty much something like, shout out to Sam Tober in the chat. He's like, what if they made like something like a Fallout New Vegas 2, or have them make them something leveraging?
I don't think Bethesda would let them.
Yeah, that's interesting, but you know, Bethesda's doing their own thing, or like a Dragon Age game.
Bethesda's like, because if let's be real, Microsoft is okay with releasing everything on but Sony platform, and the way Bethesda's going, they might be cutting Sony out in the next 5 years.
Yeah, they're talking card game stuff right now. Like it's crazy right now. But I'm gonna get you a shout out to Kiss Move in the chat. What up, kid? Was gonna say, Xbox Go. Oh, yeah, I saw you chirping, and then I'm gonna give it.
My whole thing is, for people who follow what's going on with Xbox, they have this thing called Game Pass, right? and if you hear what Phil and the people at Xbox, what they want this service to be, it's going to be the Netflix, but on the gaming side of this. So I don't understand why people would be surprised to hear these rumors or anything like that, because if they want Game Pass to be what they say they want it to be, then they have to be the company with the most first party studios under their umbrella. All right, because when it comes down to it, you need exclusive content, and you need it there numerously, and you need it there frequently. So at the end of the day, like, this didn't surprise me. We're going to hear a lot more about a lot more studios, and we're going to hear rumors, and we're going to hear things come to fruition.
It doesn't seem like. Diz, I need your feeling on this because I don't got you long. What do you feel about that, and just in general, you know, with the Obsidian and just the culture going on?
You know, I'm taking it a little bit of a different angle. Does anybody else feel that this is like, it's like sports season, off season talk?
Yes, it's like free agent sign.
It feels like off season talk. You know, I find it's kind of interesting because I do remember watching a documentary series thing on YouTube. They were actually interviewing Obsidian, and this is back when they were kind of talking about what was it, Stormlands that they were supposed to make, and it felt like that they were kind of sort of throwing a little bit of shade over the situation going on with Microsoft. So then I found that was kind of interesting and everything, but like, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm just ready to see with all these acquisitions or anything like that. I'm ready to start seeing what they're actually going to be doing and everything like that. I guess that's where I'm pretty much at.
Yeah, you're not on the sign. That's cool for you, but it's like, yo, let's see them numbers.
Out of curiosity, I asked on Planet Xbox, out of all the games that they've announced, who do you think is going to come out with a game first? Out of all the studios they announced, besides Forza, because that was obviously that's coming out first. But
well, it's going to take a while for the 5 studios, but I do know Ninja Theory. They just like maybe 3 weeks ago or so, they put out that they're hiring for somebody in kind of like the melee combat type situation. So they might be farther along in terms of the blueprint of the game that they're trying to develop. But
Phil did bring up in an interview that they've been working on that game since Hellblade stopped.
Oh wow!
Well, that's still not that much.
Well, I mean,
in terms of dev time, that's not a lot of time.
I think we can all agree. I think.
Well, I'm just saying that's probably the only studio that is the farthest in their dev time.
And so I'm thinking maybe 2021 with that. I think what's going to happen is I think Scarlet is going to come out in 2020, and I think you're going to have an awesome lineup with that. I'm talking like the new Forza Motorsport. I'm thinking the new Halo and Fable in terms of their launch lineup. And then I think in 2021 you're going to start seeing the newer acquisitions, the newer studios start coming out with their games as well. And I think they're just going to hammer it, man.
I think we're going to see Ninja Theories in 2020.
Okay, it was interesting. Let me get King in, man. He be quiet. He can get a chance to rock.
Oh, okay. Back to the topic of Obsidian being purchased and is it possible and what that holds for the future. Who did that for you? When Phil get a chance to control the purses,
really did anything for rumor, but okay.
You did. So you interrupted now when King come with the smoke.
You know what's the best part about you? I love my little spotlight. It's like that light I got right there. That's Attic. I've named that light Attic. And that light stays on me. So you're just like that light. And I can always count on you to be right there spotlighting me.
I mean, I got to spotlight
I purposely shut up and let you talk. I purposely did that for you. I purposely shut up and let you go on your whole little rant about what's coming out next and all this other stuff and not the topic. I purposely allow you to run your mouth, and I purposely watch you keep on running all over the place. I purposely did that. I sat there and read this book while you ran your mouth.
Okay.
So let me get to my topic and let's turn the spotlight off. How about that? All right. The bushes is calling. Anyway, so Phil is out here with the purse strings and he's purchasing these companies. And I know a lot of times they can't really speak about it until the deal is done because at last minute things happen and you don't want to overstep before the ink is dry. Right, so I'm pretty sure, just like Xbot, to highlight Xbot's point, to be the Netflix of it, Netflix went out and was purchasing a bunch of studios, and people was like, "Oh, they're purchasing this, they're spending money." There was no fruit being bare, and people was like, "Ah, they still in line with Hulu." Then the studios started producing. And then you started seeing shows, and then Netflix took that supreme jump. So I think he's setting up his guns. He like I said, he took the narrative. Then he allowed you to see the plan, because everybody wanted to know Xbox plan. The plan was to get this on everybody's device. Right. So in doing that, you get a streaming box that is cheaper, that you have flexibility with it. You can get it all over the place. And then to have it on tablets or whatever, wherever you can play, as long as you're engaged with Xbox, it works.
No, you can engage with Xbox.
I knew you were gonna say that.
So you need studios, and I'm not surprised. But are they going for the best and the brightest, or sometimes overlooked studios? That's what you're supposed to do.
You're gonna get a range, man.
It's a good idea, and I know y'all said, well, what has they done that was an original IP opposed to tagging on to something else? Maybe they're given source material, and since they're good at other people's source material, maybe that lends to a Halo with an RPG feel to it. Maybe that is that Fable. Maybe we don't know, but owning a studio is better than not owning a studio and allowing them to grow. So I just say it's a positive. I don't see any negatives in acquiring studios. And it's again, who did that for you? He did.
Shout out to Kid. He's making dropping some points. He's saying he thinks the cloud consoles next year, Xbox, the new Xbox
they drop in
2020.
the same time, man. They drop in the same time.
I think they might drop at the same time. I'm Kid dropping some joints in here. He's like, Playground second IP might be a 2021 game, depending on how long it takes. And he says Daryl Gallagher's studio will be the last to drop. I do agree with him. I think that the initiative is going to be the longest one that drop, because they're still kind of forming it. And Saab, can I just jump on your point, because I know you're going to talk about the initiative?
No, go ahead.
Because I just added with my point so we can move on. But yeah, man, I mean, this thing sounds, I mean, they were talking that quadruple A talk. We kind of laughed at them because it sounded funny. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when we see these acquisitions, you know what I'm saying? They got the lead producer that was on Rise of the Tomb Raider and God of War. They got this other chick. She was a recruiter who did for, I think, Respawn and Riot Games, Microsoft Studios. Then we got this guy Christian, Cantamisa, lead writing designer on Red Dead and Shadow of Mordor. That's a big deal to me. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, senior director of portfolio planning. You know, apparently this guy has given assistance for Witcher 3, Lost Planet, Dead Rising, Ninja Gaiden, Rise of the Tomb Raider, like Elder Scrolls 4. Like, these are huge names. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And last two, I believe it was prior, like Crystal Dynamics people, and I'm assuming, you know, that worked on the Rise of the Tomb Raider reboot, and obviously that's where a lot of Daryl Gallagher's history comes from. Listen, at the end of the day, all this stuff is exciting. Like, I agree with Lord King. This is completely what you need to do. Whether or not, I rather it's like almost like Dizzy said, you're doing all these acquisitions, and people are like, yeah, but we need to see the games. But at the end of the day, I look at it like, look, you have all these different companies working and acquire, and then you have more chances of one of them making something fantastic, making something great. And to Lord Xbox's point, I do agree with their role on services and pushing Game Pass. It's like Lord Xbox said, it's got to be like a Netflix-like service. You got to have original content and a plethora of it, so that stuff grows and grows and makes people say, hey, I can't not have this service. You know what I'm saying? Because of everything they're producing. So I like what's going on. It's cool. Lord King, you've been patient. Nintendo, what they doing? What's going on? Luigi, they got my mans.
Yo, so I watched this video, and I've always learned something. When desperation sets into somebody or anything, you get this chance to see them act out of character. They do things to keep that attention there. And since the stocks went down and sales aren't doing exactly what, you know, they
right now, man.
They heartbeat is beeping. Is beeping, and
kind of like murdering K6, right? Like
yeah, exactly. Yo, you know what? Exactly to your point. And let me tell you, when desperation sets into a company, you are going to see what happens. So what do? They kill player 2. Poor Luigi. Poor Luigi. They killed him and they took him down. Now, shout out to the No. Because I got that they killed player 2 from the No. All right? And shout out to the No, because I almost died in tears when I heard it and I saw it and I said, man, they're desperate. They're selling the Smash Brothers with a system. It's nice. The package looks great. And they look like they're betting everything heavy on this farm because it's all the way in December. So they're trying to keep your interest and they keep letting out little snippets. And they say, Castlevania's here. You've been asking for that, but we killed Luigi. We killed player 2. And we've been growing up with this. And I'm not even going to get into the part about the Luigi's death. But the desperation at Nintendo, are they trying to get likes? Are they trying to raise the stock prices? They said we will raise the stock prices by getting interest back up by killing a beloved character. And they killed him because he tried to enter his body.
To the stock.
Yo, you know what? Somebody in the shareholders meeting said somebody got to die. Somebody has to die.
They gotta do that for the views. They gotta do that for the views.
They probably put names in the hat, and you know the Mario guy was sitting there sweating, and Luigi name came up, and he said, "Good, kill my brother, kill my brother." And listen, they spilled the ragu sauce all over the place. He's dead. He couldn't get back in his body. And I want to know, is it desperation? Are we seeing Nintendo showing the skirt? What is going on?
Well, Nintendo came out and said he's not dead.
Yes, they
came out and said he's not dead. But I think
base uproar was crazy.
We covered this on next podcast as well. And K Mega thought I was crazy for bringing it up, but it's exactly what King said. It's something that we've never seen from Nintendo before. And I think at the end of the day, there might be a little cross marketing here in terms of another kind of like Luigi game that might be in development.
Oh, if you say Luigi's Mask music to addicts' ears right there.
And I think that's what's going on. Of course, they're marketing Smash Brothers, but at the end of the day, that cinematic at the end is what caught everybody because people are like, yo, that's not Nintendo. They don't do that. And I know it caught me. And I kind of like where they're going with that, man. It's showing that they will expand their marketing. I like the video, yeah.
Master Shake. I'm not committed to slandering Nintendo. All right. I just
seems like it.
Listen. I got Cognito here, and I got Sovereign here, and I'm in the middle, and I gotta hear this rhetoric. You understand? And they chirping here, and they chirping there, and I gotta fight it off. So trust me, it's coming from a space of love because Nintendo is my beloved system. All right, so don't worry about it.
Lord, Alec, let me hear it. What you got for this one? Here it comes.
He's not here.
Oh, he left?
He left a long time ago.
Oh,
he jumped into the bushes.
Okay, Jay, so he probably had to step away from it. He'll be back. But Lord Dizzy, you in the chat, lit. Do you think this is desperation on Nintendo? Do you think we're looking more into it?
I mean,
is this Game of Thrones moment?
Point, Game of Thrones, it works for Game of Thrones, kill off a character. Walking Dead, kill off a character. I get it. Yeah, maybe it is a cross promotion. Get another game, like I said, Luigi's Clue game. Who murdered Luigi and where was it? What was the weapon?
Luigi's version of God of War, man.
Oh my God, I am done with y'all.
Maybe he'll be a ghost character in the game.
Lord Sam, can we bring some sense to the panel?
First of all, I have to give King a shout out because this is why I love this man, because his commitment to the troll is like no other. When we say King is a man of his convictions, we mean that. So when he trolls, it's 100%. From the heart. He doesn't let up. So I have to because it's so entertaining. Now, with that said, with that, no. Like, it's Nintendo. from what I heard, it could be it could be hinting at whatever's going on in the story mode in Smash, like people get murdered left and right. Because I think if you really really want to set people ablaze, you murder Mario. Like you murder Mario, and then you're like, yeah,
you can't do that, man.
He's like, well.
So who was that killed him? Explain, because Chief Tower was
Death killed him.
Death came in and swung.
Because the thing is, if you remember the Smash video from E3, like Ridley came in. I think he murdered Mega Man, and I think he damn near murdered Mario, right? So I mean, they're trying to get people excited for the game. Again, story mode is something, I don't know how story mode went over in the Wii U version,
right?
But I know it's something that people, like, apart from the versus competition stuff. So, hey, that's all it is. But thank you.
He said Reggie killed him. Reggie killed him.
I want to shout out to Xbot.
Yo, I would. You know what?
Reggie killed him. Who did that for you?
You know what would be funny though? That if Death took off its hood and it was Mario under there, he murdered.
Listen. When Death killed him, Simon Belmont jumped in and killed Death. So Simon Belmont avenged Luigi. Luigi was trying to get back into his body, but it was an eyeball that was crying. A face that was crying outside the window, and he got scared and didn't jump back into his lifeless body.
Peach, because there's been an affair going on for a long time, and nobody knew about
it. That's the Smash Brothers I want. That's
all right. I want to shout out Xbot, the next podcast, because they had a great segment on this. And I want to shout out K Bang and them. Like, let's get to the overall thing with the Luigi aspect. Like how long is this man gonna be disrespected? How long are we gonna go through just the second-class citizen treatment?
Can I ask a question?
Go for it, Attic.
When did they kill Luigi?
They murdered him in the beginning of the joint, but it's
Nintendo Direct. Smash Direct. The Smash Direct.
Oh, you guys really took that in content?
No, I did. But King on troll and say that they so desperate, that they're so behind because the stock went down, that they had at the board meeting.
Dude, the only thing Nintendo is killing is Xbox.
Yo, you can check this out, right? If that whole idea is working, if it worked for Destiny, they said Destiny was desperate and stock was low, they killed Kate. They killed the beloved character. They killed him, right? Nintendo desperate. They killed Luigi.
Now, thankfully, because Nintendo was getting heat. And thankfully, they came out with a tweet. Nintendo UK in America. They just said, "No, he's not dead."
I wonder why people needed to hear that from them. Like, just because
they've never really done anything like this before. To King's point, like they've never really.
My son's story is that no.
I mean, what's gonna happen?
I mean, back to your point, Cognito. Like, why is this man always the step stool? I mean, this is his station in life. This is what he was created for, to be married. He is Charlie Brown trying to kick the football. Yeah, it never happens.
And Mario moves the football, and he falls, and everybody. He's the big joke of their universe, and I just don't get it. But get at it, finish. He let you finish. Lost again? All right, we lost again.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay, there you go.
No, there's nothing to really take about it. Like he turned into a ghost on a Super Smash Brothers trailer. Like
so you knew all along this BS.
I literally didn't even pay attention to that because that's how Super Smash Brothers are. Like it's like the most violent thing they make.
Yeah. Okay, not fair. Now I'm going to ask you this question, and so we move on from this. Obviously we know about the bundle. You know what I'm saying? And we don't think we got a chance to talk really about that. Is in reference to they got that limited edition bundle. You know what I'm saying? And they coming with the GameCube controller.
Though, man.
That's because the game would have died at launch without the GameCube controller.
Really? So it's that intuitive.
About 60% of the Super Smash Brothers community will not play without the GameCube controller.
Really? Yep. It's that intense. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not. This would be my first Smash game. Wow.
They brought it back for the Wii U. They brought it back for the Wii.
Yep.
Really?
Well, actually, on the Wii, you could hook up the GameCube controller. So
that's what's up. So they look like they got the adapter. Looks like they got the little 4-player tap. You know what I mean? So you can get your couch co-op going on, beat it up. So they gonna run with that, man. So you know that thing most likely gonna sell like hotcakes. What do you feel about that Xbox?
I feel like it made sense, man. People who are into Smash Brothers, like Addict said, there was a way to play with the GameCube controller throughout its history or whatnot. So it would just make sense to do it again. I think the controllers are hot. I think for people who are serious about Smash Brothers, because there are like tournaments and stuff like that, that is the controller that they are used to, and it only made sense to come out with the 4-tap and those controllers, you know, for everybody to play like they've been used to, man.
No doubt, no doubt. What do you feel about the solve? You feel like that bundle is going to do something out here?
Yeah, that bundle. What?
You have to ask him, man. Really?
That bundle is probably outselling the game proper. Like,
interesting.
Because a lot of people, again, if you're a big Smash player, your GameCube controllers are probably in the bushes by now, so you might get a new one. So yeah, why not sell it in a bundle? I think is genius.
Hopefully they make enough of it, you know, and they don't do a Nintendo like how Nintendo do.
Yeah.
Oh, we're only gonna make 50,000 and give it to our friends.
I wouldn't put it past them.
No, everybody finished with the Nintendo Smash. So we'll move on, get this thing moving. All right, so I'm just gonna jump in. I'll make this quick. Pretty much what's been going on, and kind of what we set off the overlay shot, the attic on that, is this whole thing with Steam right now. And I want to set it off. I think Discord set it off this week, and pretty much they have this new online store that they're launching, and it was a little interesting to me because of the fact that, you know, we all know how big Discord is for online chat and video services against across a lot of platforms. They got 150 million gamers. I mean, they've been growing. So they actually said that they've been actually mulling the idea a long time. You know, they're gonna have exclusive games in it. They're gonna roll a beta out for it in Canada. And their whole thing is to get into the online store business. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, what I found is interesting is kind of not only with the Discord's growth and them actually kind of really, I don't say challenging Steam because they're still in the early, but they're really positioning themselves, right? And they're looking to have a beta launch up, exclusive titles, all this stuff. And, you know, it's kind of like the preferred chatting platform on PC. But then you got things like, you know, let's look at, you know, Destiny 2, right? And Call of Duty on what you call Battle.net. You know, you look at EA Origins and all this stuff. You seem to have this pattern of flux out that people don't want to give Steam that cut, like the big publishers. Like they don't want to pay that 30%. And I just thought this was interesting. I wanted to bring this to the Lord, you know, the Lords of the table. Like, is Steam in trouble? And one last thing I want to make is that I want to shout out Lord Piscatella, you know, friend to the realm, MPD's finest. You know, he actually opened my eyes with the Discord thing because he was like, yeah, it's them opening a storefront is a big deal. He's like, with every major publisher seemingly going with their own PC launcher, he said, this is the place where Discord is the place where the friends list lives and has the most engagement. Our favorite word, Solve, engagement. And so Discord, so pretty much like he says he feels this is a big disruption coming to PC. So I want to bring it to the Lords. Let's start off. I'm actually switching. Let's start off with Lord King. You know, I'm bringing it to you. Like, what is the sky?
You don't want me to have the rebuttal, Stitch? Stitch. I'm down with you, Stitch. Microsoft should just allow. I want Discord to do well. I want Discord to do so well that Steam loses stock and gets desperate and has to sell to Microsoft, and Microsoft kills off the Microsoft store and acquires Steam, and that works out in that way. I really want it to do well.
My bad, King. One big point I forgot, which is the whole thing of this story. Bethesda. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had no clue why Discord came in that. I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, Discord came in it because you're asking like how they're Discord is actually opening their own online store. Like
they ain't messing with Steam.
Here's the thing though. Steam has been on, I would say a slight decline, but as far as basically where they were, like I said, at maybe 2016, 2017, they maybe had 150. Discord is there now with 150 million. Like Discord is growing. And like I said, like just telling how other people said, that is the default for the most part place to party chat and chat on PC. That's like a fact. Discord is that big. So for them, I'm gonna let you go. Okay.
Their problem is the same thing that Steam's going to have a problem with. More and more big publishers are leaving that platform, and they're not going to go to Discord's platform. They're going to keep on their own.
They're going to keep on their own open platform, man.
Right. And I hear what you're saying. And here's the thing, but they're also trying to start their own like exclusive games. As it basically they're going to call like first on Discord titles. You know what I'm saying? Now,
that could do something. That could do something.
And I saw some of them names, and I got affected by this already because Banner Saga 3 was one of those titles. Y'all know how I feel about This Is the Police. I parade that thing, and we were supposed to get This Is the Police 2 this month. PC got it launching. It's going to be launching for them. And now the console, all the console versions have to wait until fall. That just recently happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I was waiting. I'm like, damn, I'm speaking to the dev. Like, what's going on? Where y'all at? Like, I know it's supposed to release this month. And he's like, oh, for PC. And I said, not you guys. And I'm like, wow. So there's some slow ripples going on. But King, I'm going to get back to you. I interrupted you.
Oh, no. My thing was I want Microsoft to buy them. You gotta get back to me. No, I want Discord to do. I want it to do above and beyond, and I want Steam to fall so that they have to bend the knee and get up under that umbrella, and that's what I'm about. I'm about that.
I feel you, but what about Bethesda now saying, "Hey, we're not putting Fallout 76 on Steam"?
Yeah,
they're doing their own launcher.
But if Microsoft owns Steam, they have no choice but to bend the knee because that game will be launched day and date at the same time. So it might be a little cryptic little message. Let Steam fall to the ground. They acquire them, and regardless to what, it'll be on Steam because it'll be on Microsoft same day. So it don't matter.
So I heard you chirping, then we get at it. So,
but Bethesda's one of the few companies that can get away with doing that. Like just because their games don't come out that often and it has Fallout in front of it. Like any of their huge games, they can get away with like we're gonna do our own launcher because regardless of where we put the game, people who want that game are gonna go get it. Facts. Regardless to what. So they can get away with that. The smaller publishers, not so much. So I kind of agree with Attic where I say like Steam is too big of a juggernaut to sort of be to be toppled by this. Is it going to create some ripples? Yes.
Right.
I still think
if anything, it's going to show competition.
Big. Yeah. I just think the Steam is too big to really, really be moved by this because at some point, I think at some point all those games still come to Steam.
Okay. And to clarify, because I wanted to defend them, I don't know if we still have Disney with us, but to clarify, at QuakeCon, people did ask Bethesda like, "Hey, does this mean all Bethesda titles moving forward?" You know what I'm saying? And they said they clarified. They said no, just Fallout 76 right now, based on the online structure of it, and that they still intend to bring stuff. Dizzy, did you hear anything in reference to QuakeCon at the panel with Bethesda?
That's pretty much right on point. And the thing is, like, with their online port that they would have, they have to run that on their own. A lot of the online ports will actually have to go through Steam, and so again, you get more of the cut that has to go back to Steam. And so that's why 76. It doesn't make sense to put it on something like Steam. Now, is this going to hurt Steam? No, the big games have never been the bread and butter of Steam. It's always been the indie titles, all the smaller budget ones, and working with the indie developers. Is it going to even them out a little bit? Yes, because I mean, any kind of talk is definitely going to do a little bit. As we see, King getting all crazy over about Steam and everything. Like, hey,
what's happening? I gotta let Native know because what's happening. I'm laughing at Jonathan B. He said Valve could be running out of steam. I found that to be probably the comment of the day in the chat because
Jonathan B was on fire.
Yeah, he's been on fire.
Pepper's game up. Jonathan B bringing the heat in the chat lately. He be having me dying. But no, I feel what you're saying with that. Continue, Disney.
Yeah. I mean, I think that what we're going to see with like a lot of the big publishers, as we're already seeing on PC, they're moving everything to their own storefront. We see that with Uplay. We see that with EA Access. We see that, or whatever they call it, Origin. Sorry. disrespectful. So all of these big ones, they're going to be, BlizzardNet. They're just going to be moving on the PC over to something where they're not going to have to shell out that extra percentage. They're just going to run their own storefront.
Right.
So
but let me ask you this specifically, Dizzy. What do you feel about the Discord threat specifically? Because how they've permeated and they've infiltrated that PC market, and they are the de facto, chat platform. Like, people are not, for the most part, using Steam like that for that chat aspect. Like, they're going to Discord and they're growing. So like, you're not agreeing with like Piscatella's forecast? Like, yo, this is a problem.
That is going to depend on how they handle the rights with the developers, and are you going to be charging? What's the cost? Whenever you do updates, what kind of system are you going to be running as far as like the updates? Because when you look at Steam is pretty lax whenever it comes to things like that. Whereas you look at something like, if you look at the PlayStation Network, or you look at Microsoft Live, they have to go through a whole Q&A session in order to get their updates pushed through and everything. So, and then are they going to be charging the developers for things like this? A lot of that is going to really depend on that. It's great to have that list there, because that the people are there. That's looking at the whole Twitch versus Mixer thing, is Mixer's great for streaming because of the latency, but the people just aren't there that are
exactly Twitch, the engagement where the people are. That's a great point. Yeah, man. Xbot, I've been holding you back.
It's all good.
I just wanted to get some points. I know how much we had everybody else, but yeah, man, where you at, man, with this?
I gotta say, first off, competition is good in any kind of like genre, in any kind of area. Now, if you look at Steam hasn't really had any competition when it comes to the PC side of things. But we've seen, Battle.net, we've seen Origins and all that stuff pop up. And you're going to see more of that pop up because the PC is an open platform.
Right.
When it comes to Discord, I'm any newcomer in there, even though they do have a base that they use for communication and game chat and stuff like that, they are still new to the store area of it.
Fair enough.
So they're not going to make an immediate impact. I think a lot of people are used to playing games on Steam and using Discord to talk to their friends.
Right.
And at the end of the day, people are creatures of habit. So it's still going to be like, all right, well, let me get my game running up on Steam. Let me go to Discord and get to my people.
Good point.
Over time, depending on what Discord does and how much they are really committed to this store and everything like that, over time, it could wear away at Steam. But in terms of an immediate impact,
you're not there yet.
You're not going to get an immediate impact, man.
I guess they got me because I'll finish this real quick. They got me because I was such a Distance Police fanboy, and I was mad. I'm like, yo, where is it? And he's like, we'll have some announcements soon. And I'm like, all right, because I'm like, yo, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? For that ILP coverage. And y'all know my Dizzy. No, y'all know my late night ILP Lord Cognito After Dark tweets with This Is the Police. And I put the images up. And y'all be like, yo, what is going on in that game you playing? Like, I'm ready. Yeah, for the drama. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard that, get at it.
When it comes down to this, I don't think this, Bethesda saying, but Fallout 76. I don't believe in 1 second. Every Bethesda game's coming on that platform. I have no doubt in my mind.
They're saying it's not because it's dedicated servers in the online structure. Pete Hines just came out with this statement like a few hours ago. That shocked everybody. Like they're saying now maybe future Bethesda's. Yeah, they said it's probably gonna come to Steam.
No,
they're saying 76 ain't.
No, I know. I'm saying that all Bethesda games are going on the platform they're making for Fallout 76. Like, they can say what they want. They're not going to make this for one game. Especially when they get that revenue. They're like, we would have made this much if we stayed with Steam. Like, they're going to use the platform they built for that game. They're going to start releasing everything. A lot of people are really forgetful of how much Bethesda has an influence. They own the Dishonored game. I mean, they publish the Dishonored games. They publish the Wolfenstein games. They publish the Doom games. They publish Fallout. They publish Elder Scrolls.
And those games are no problem. But they're saying, Pete Hines is saying, we are skipping Steam with 76. They said it's online only, and they have their own dedicated server. They're saying 100% it's not coming.
I feel like if it was something, no, I'm not saying it's coming. I'm saying if it was just Fallout, because the topic is Steam in trouble.
Right.
And I feel like if they were just doing a one and done thing, they would put this on something like BattleNet that has a really good infrastructure for internet. They wouldn't make a whole infrastructure for this one game unless they had plans going into the future to bring all of their games to this platform. And if they bring every Bethesda game, that's EA that's already gone. That's Bethesda that would be gone. Ubisoft is in and out. They have all their games on Steam as of now. Kid Smooth said that Fox, what's that place that made the Warner Brothers just signed a deal with EA, so their games are not coming on Steam anymore.
So you saying the opposite? You like, yo, Steam better pay attention like that.
Look, like the Discord is not their trouble. Their trouble is these big publishers leaving their platform.
Exactly.
I see where you're going. My bad.
And another thing, to put off what Addict said, when it comes to Steam, what new innovation have they done in the past like years or anything? They got to a certain point and then they just stayed there with it. They're not evolving or anything like with the industry that I've seen. Maybe somebody else who is really in the PC gaming can tell me different, but from what I've seen, they got comfortable, kind of like what Sony did with music and stuff like that. They got comfortable, man.
I think that's been the criticism of them for years, that they haven't made games like the way they've been living off of Dota or whatever, and they haven't been actually made a lot of games. They focused a lot on a VR, which is fine. They have the most advanced headset out there, but it's not hitting. It's not hitting like I had hoped that it was. So they're just kind of going with the flow.
Activision's already left. Destiny and Call of Duty are on BattleNet. So like I'm telling you, sooner or later, the majority of the big publishers that have like 10 games under the that they publish yearly, EA's been gone. Now people are like, oh, games need to be on Steam. I'm willing to bet you if EA wouldn't have left Steam, Madden wouldn't be coming out on PC right now.
Shout out Diago Pedral. Good to see you, brother. In chat. Discord is not the enemy to Steam. Steam's own enemy is the way they do business.
Exactly.
Now, Discord. Now, what could really help them, Discord, is that they open up, that console-like experiences with like the Uncharted, The Last of Us, and that was only on Discord. That would do a damage because Steam doesn't really have that kind of quality of exclusives.
Got you. No, this is a good one. It's very interesting. I thought, like I said, I bring it to the round table. Let's see what happens. But like I agree with Xbot, competition is a good thing. Let's speed this up. You're still doing We Happy Few Impressions, what at it?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, this will be the last one we out here. So what you feeling? What's going on?
I like it. I'm a couple hours into it. The game has a lot of issues. Shout out to I think it's Gearbox. They sent us the review code. I can't remember exactly. But I mean, the game has its issues. A lot of people I feel like this game's getting attacked. It's not really being attacked. It's being criticized. But I feel like the reason that I see so many people talking about it is because Microsoft bought it at the company at E3.
Right.
So they're first off, this game wasn't built with any kind of Microsoft money, really. Right. Second, this game, it could show you anyone that's actually played. Has anyone on this panel played it?
I played it way back in the beginning when it first went into game.
Yeah, me too. I haven't played it since.
So I'm the only one that played it.
Yeah, you've got to break it down for us.
This game has those moments where, like, it's really story centered.
Okay.
It's about you're in this land. You come across some items that remind you about your past. So you pretty much break out of this drug called joy. And the rest of the game is you trying to get out of this land that forces their civilians to take joy. So, and there's certain sections of the map where you have to be on joy to get through. Like,
and joy is like that drug joint.
Yeah, the moment you take joy, everything gets light, colorful. The game looks nothing like it did. I do feel like that aspect. I wouldn't mind if their next exclusive for Microsoft is We Happy Few 2, but done correctly. Because I feel like this game had a lot of potential. It was clearly under budgeted. They didn't have a whole lot of money going into it. That's the reason it was in the preview program. This game, it can really. You guys remember when Compulsion was announced? I was like, I don't know why they bought that company.
Right. Everybody was saying
after playing this game, I'm like, they have the foundation to make something that can top BioShock.
So
there's no doubt about
you're saying you see that potential. And just to clarify, this was not made under what you said. This was not made under the Microsoft, because a lot we hear that, like people are like, yo, we're hearing the crashes or whatever, or some critical reviews, and people are like, oh, this is the studio Microsoft. People going in, you know how that is.
Yeah, the game was designed. It was in the preview program, so that's how you know how it was funded. It might have been funded more on the back end with Microsoft after they bought the company. They're like, okay, you got to push this out the door. We got to get going.
Right.
So that could happen, but I don't know anything in statistics on that because I don't work for either of those companies.
I doubt that. This is a Gearbox published game. Like they had to finish out that contract before they even think about what the next thing is. So.
But the game has a lot of potential. It kind of reminds me of like a Dishonored, and there's nothing even
Dishonored on an acid trip, man.
That's the best analogy. A Dishonored while you're on acid. Like when you take, I feel like there should be more repercussions when you're not on Joy, because when you're on Joy, if you come off Joy, you're going through withdrawal syndromes, and you have to pretty much hide into your withdrawal.
Wow, I always like the concept. Yeah,
like I like it. I think the game should have been built around Joy. Like how to get into certain areas, you have to be on Joy. It should have been that times 10, and I think this game would have been anywhere from a 7.5 to an 8.5. I believe their next game is going to be 8 or above. There's no doubt in my mind.
Jonathan B gets the MVP today in the chat. Like he's been killing. He said people already saying, "Is this your king?" on Compulsion's games already.
But it's a good game.
Yeah,
they really need to define some stuff. Especially if they do any kind of sequel. I do think that they can make that BioShock quality that it's being compared to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget this is pretty much their first game.
First.
I got a question for Attic if we can do it with time. But do you think that what you consider as like the low points of this game, do you think that over time through patches and stuff like that they might be able to make it better? Or
a lot of issues with this game is built into it. I mean, I don't really. It sucks. I don't think this is worth 60 from what I played with it. I think this is a $30 title.
I paid 30.
But it's definitely worth playing. For a good 30, you can get it for like $30 on a sale. This game is an easy pickup. It's fun. I've had a lot of like what moments. Like the whole point, you're on like think of it like the 5 circle of hell or something like that. I don't know, where you're on like the 5th circle and the only way to get out is in the center. You have to go through these checkpoints every like 3 or 4 hours, and they make you do some crazy stuff on these checkpoints.
Delilah's like, don't spoil.
Well, no, I'm not. That's all I'm saying. The game is good. It's worth playing.
They're gonna keep supporting it. I heard it's getting story DLC. So yeah, I'm excited to play it at some point. I think what Attic mentioned, the story stuff and comparing it to BioShock, I think that's what Microsoft saw in them. The ability with a budget to really
clearly they have their next. I think their next ideal, because it's like Lord King said, he talked to one of the PR people at E3, and she was like, yeah, they wanted to buy us, and the first thing we asked them, what we make, right?
Yeah, that was me. That was actually me and Lord Sam. We ran into, because King ran into, he had the big one, he had Ninja Theory. I was jelly. I was like, damn, he got Ninja Theory. I wanted that one. But I had Compulsion. It was me and Sam. We bumped into one of the devs, and it's literally like what you said. She just literally said, we told Microsoft like, hey, you know what type of games we make, right? Like so I kind of like that energy, and she used a brewing, like she used a beer analogy. She said basically before the acquisition, they were like a local brewery, so to speak. And then she said the acquisition for them was like Microsoft pulling up as Budweiser, say, yo, you can do whatever you want, have access to all our resources, rock out. You know what I'm saying? And she was just like, they were like blown away. So they're super excited.
The biggest thing that I would take, whatever they do, I hope Microsoft gives them full freedom like they're doing with the majority of the studios, and they got to make an M-rated game. Like, because they cannot make a T-rated game. Like, this company cannot make.
Attic, that's exactly the vibe she get. Like, we are gonna go there, so you can't be coming in. You sure you want to sign us? And I was like, okay.
Like, what I feel like this world should have done is when you're off the Joy, the world should have looked like something like The Evil Within. Like, you want to be on the Joy because it's scary.
It's just so scary. No doubt, man. That's dope. Yeah, yes,
I can see this game in Game Pass within the next 6 to 10 months. It'd be a perfect game for Game Pass to get it in
Be a
front of
great
more people.
addition, man. They're killing it with Game Pass right now.
Facts. All right, man. Let's get to the polls. Get out of here. New poll this week. In lieu of the recent plagiarism issues by a former editor at IGN, whom do you hold most responsible? The answers are A. IGN should have vetted the editor more thoroughly to avoid the issue. B. Editor broke IGN protocol on his own and his journalistic integrity lost. C. Just another example of media bias. Sometimes can't be trusted. I knew you was gonna love this one. Or D. I don't care. IGN just need to pay them employees more. That is the answer.
You looking for fire on that poll, man.
What's funny is I thought of it and all you guys made all these points. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Because that is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the ILP poll when it goes up on Twitter. Lord Xbot, an absolute pleasure in the realm to have you in the realm. Long overdue. Where can the fine people find you? What do you have going on?
Well, first I want to say huge shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolute fire today. And as usual, the panel, I've been with just about everybody on the panel in the Xbox Live party chat, except for Dizzy, I believe. But
and Saul most likely because he never been on.
Yeah. Well, Addict, man, you bet me shut up. Anyway. But yo, guys, you made it feel just like an Xbox Live party. I had a lot of fun. It was very comfortable. I was able to share my opinion, and I always appreciate that. You can definitely find me. I'm on a couple shows. Of course, the next podcast every Saturday, 7 p.m. on my channel. We talk that gaming news straight with gameplay for you to watch, and you can vote for the best gameplay after the show. I am also on Crossfire every Friday on my brother Mooch's channel. I am a part of Big Gamers Small Talk, and that's usually either Sunday or Monday.
Correct.
I bring that common sense to that show. I put certain people in their place on that show. But, not only that, I am a part of something called CCC, which is it's on vacation right now until the fall. It is Coffee, Casuals, and Consoles. It is a podcast by O Snaps. I think she's gonna be doing some changes. We were usually going Wednesday during the day. I think there might be a time change on that, so stay tuned for that. And as usual, you can always follow me on Twitter at Xbot448. And guys, I can't wait to come on again. Hopefully, you guys invite me again, man.
You already know it's never one time a year with the Realm of the Lords, man. Also, like I said, what we try to do is promote when we feel topics kind of suit to a guest we had. We'll try to stick in a cameo like we did Lord Dizzy if he was still here. I don't know if he's still here. We got more Dizzy than I can. I'm happy, man. It's been a long. Dizzy been from the very beginning. He believed in us. He believed in the ILP movement. I don't want to never not give him enough credit, because if it wasn't for him, like, he really helped put us out there and give us some light. So Lord Dizzy, what is going on? You getting back in the game again? What's popping? Where can the fine people find you? What you got going on?
Well, it's really hard to follow Xbot with all that podcast stuff that he's got. How do you have time to sleep, sir?
I also drop content. I do live streams, man. I am all over it, dude.
How, sir, do you have time to sleep?
Adderall.
Yeah. I'm slowly starting to ramp everything back up. Of course, you can find me at Twitter. Where I'm supporting plagiarism. Apparently,
relevant is going on.
I just had to throw that out there. But I've always believed in this movement and everything. And it's not about me believing; it's the way that you guys handle everything and the way that you present yourselves. And I'm always gonna be right here in your corner and everything. Love everything that y'all do.
Yeah, man. Plug your show, plug the Twitter. Let's plug. Man.
Yes. So, of course, at Twitter, we gave the handle. You'll be able to see the Playback Gaming podcast. We've actually moved away from doing the website. That's a lot of stuff that goes behind that. And that's kind of why the topic that we started off with, I was a little bit passionate about it, and why I was a little bit disgruntled about what I saw was going on. But of course, we're doing every week. We were doing every other week, and so we're going to be doing every week. We're not a live show, so essentially, whenever we have the interviews, a lot of the stuff is pre-done and everything, but we want to make sure that we have the high quality We're also going to be kicking with, if you haven't heard, we are one of the Tick affiliates. We're one of the newest ones on that one. So we're going to be putting out a little bit of content on that and everything. And I know with, King's out here, pumping the Iron Lords podcast, Destiny, clan membership and everything like that. And the reason why I'm not in that, there's other reasons, and there's content that I'm actually working on, and hopefully soon I'll also have a little bit of the Channel 5 / Iron Lords podcast.
The originator.
It'll be part of that. So be looking forward to that. That'll of course be on my YouTube. It's a small little YouTube channel. Hopefully nobody plagiarizes that. Anybody would give it
If they do, we'll keep them around.
Oh my God. Yo, Dizzy, man. I'm not going to spill the beans because I know some of the stuff we talked about offline and what you got cooking, but I'm really excited for you to get that going because like I said, it's really exciting. And like I said, you just give me the call and we're going to try to get that thing done, man. Really appreciate you back doing this stuff. And, for the record, my boy not defending plagiarism. So, he's back. It wasn't that. He just bringing, him and Attic were bringing some other points, but that's dope. All right, man. So, Lord Attic, what you got going, man? What's going on? We can find you. What you got going on?
Right now, I'm playing some knife game on my phone, but I'll be launching a video tomorrow on, improvements that they can make on Record 2. It's actually, it took me 4 days to make this video.
Dope.
So definitely catch into that. I'm on Twitter at Lord Addict ILP, so you can always follow me on there. Definitely follow me on there. I'm approaching 1,000.
Woo! No doubt. When we gonna get that We Happy Fuel assessment? What they could do for that?
Probably buy it yourself. I have no clue if I'm gonna actually make a review on it.
No doubt. All right, that's what's up, Lord Sav. What's going on, man? Where people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Lord Sav ILP. Playing a lot of freaking Metroidvanias on Switch. And this week I will.
There's the shameless Switch plug.
Here we go with the I will be online.
Hey, yeah, I know I will be. I'm done with Destiny's story. I'm just gonna play everything online from now on. So,
so basically, you're gonna play the game that everyone plays together online, but be online.
Together.
Got
I will be on. I'll be online. I need help. I need my Solstice of Heroes stuff going. I still haven't done any of the latest Nightfalls and stuff like that, so I got to do all that. So I will be on. Real quick too, big shout out to our man Jay Fonzarelli. Check out his latest video on Red Dead Redemption. He breaks down the gameplay trailer.
Yeah, that was good.
He goes in. Rockstar, man. Every time a Rockstar game comes out, it's an event. And they went above and beyond. So
they kill it, man.
Yeah, they're killing it. So
Rockstar's overrated.
Rap said you need to pull your Destiny Clan weight. So
Rap said that, by the way.
I know Rap said
that. Yeah, shout out to Fonz on that too, because I know I'm a Red Dead fraud, so I didn't even try to attack it this week. I was like, what? I'm glad he put that out there. You know what I'm saying? To show the appreciation of what's going on. But good point, so I'm sorry. Continue.
Because I'm on a podcast with a bunch of Red Dead haters. So
that's why I was shocked.
No, that's not true.
I was like, I don't hate it. I never really played the first one like that, so I couldn't really go in. But I don't hate it.
I played it.
Yeah.
Dude,
I say this for this specific reason. Everybody, when I mentioned Red Dead last time,
yeah, they did attack you. They did. And Fonz said we was frauding on the Red Dead subject. No doubt. All right, cool. Lord Ding. Where can find people find what you got going on?
Well, my fraud alert is going through the roof. Oh my God.
Lord.
I'm gonna have to call out Brap. I'm going to have to call out Xbot. I'm going to have to call out Lord Sovereign. We will see. Like Lord Brap said, he's back to daytime. We will see, sir.
King, I got that Predator Sun Ghost Shell, by the way.
Oh, good. I got it too. I got it too.
You did. I gotta see that, man.
Yeah, you gotta respect my inspect, bro.
Pixar didn't happen, brother. Pixar didn't happen, man.
Shout out to young Chris. Respect my inspect, bro.
Yeah,
No, but you, sir, I would like to see you engaging more with the clan, brother. Yes, sir.
I think I can do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Stop frauding. Lord Sovereign, yeah, I'm gonna hold you to your words because you said it last week, didn't see you. So let's check it out. Hopefully you don't got your cloak of invisibility on. All right? Hopefully it's off. All right, hopefully
I turned it off this morning.
All right, hopefully you out there like surprise. Yo, check it out, King of all media. Let's see y'all on that Facebook, that Instagram, that Twitter.
Nice.
If you're not following every Lord here, start following every Lord here. We retweet, tweet, double tweet, back tweet, retweet, tweet. So we actually out here tweeting. So get out there. It's mad funny. And if you ever want to see the most random content out of the blue, just weirdo stuff, good stuff, get on that Instagram. I can't say it too much. You will see stuff that you like, what? I didn't know that. It pops up randomly. We have no rhyme or reason to what we put out, but I get surprised at what I see. I'm pretty sure you will be surprised as well. I'm just holding. I got some pictures and some stuff holding just in case people act funny. I got some stuff. So
clearly this is for me.
Yes, sir. I got it. As soon as you pop your gun, don't worry. The clips is loaded. I'm ready.
So, right. I got some old school out of pocket gaming pics with us, but I reserved that put them up because I know the retaliation record will be coming.
Yes. Trollage will be off. Yes. I will make sure that everybody sign up that day. Listen. Facebook is used for promotional purposes only. It's not a situation where we are out there actively getting people to hang out and other stuff. Facebook is used as a community where you can go in there, you can interact with us, and you can see what's coming up. All right, so that's what Facebook is about.
Yeah,
and that's about it. I'm about to get upstairs. First, I'll probably do some yard work, and if I don't feel like doing that, if I see the frauds on, I'll be on.
King, check the chat. I gave people the reasons as to why, man.
Okay. You said you be eating too much.
All right. Okay. Oh, so you said that? See, they actually got a chance to see me drink a whole gallon of water during the show. So I told you that was monkey punch that he actually stuffed in his face. All right, yeah, I'm blowing it up. And that's actually hot monkeys. Look, 2 monkeys. They always doing some wild stuff. That's actually eating chips or whatever the hell. I don't eat. So wasn't me, bro.
It is it. No doubt, man. Like I said, shout out again, Lord Xbot, Lord Dizzy coming through, especially Lord this last minute. Xbot, man, long overdue. You will definitely be back in the realm. You already knew. We got history, had a ton of fun. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody. So yeah, man. Like I said, make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe to all the Iron Lord Podcast YouTube channel and the Inner Circle Network affiliates. Let's give out our affiliates some shouts. Brat Podcast, NOG, 4 Guys with Quarters, and the Gaming Perspective Podcast, as well as PBG in the building. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Shout out to PBG, Playback Gaming, y'all. That's Dizzy. You know what I'm saying? So also shout out to Lord Kaibatsu on the audio. That'll be going up later tonight. YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, all that good stuff with the timestamps because we went long. You're gonna need them timestamps. But yeah, man, Flashpoint 26 and 27 with Ebontis are back up on YouTube, ILP YouTube this week. We had a lot of forsaken info, man. We're killing it with content. Salute my boy Ebontis. He's working hard out here. We was a little double dip edition because we had the combat stream early in the week, and then the Thwob was huge. This week at Bunny was huge, so there's no way we could not talk about it. And lastly, Lord King, will Combat Talk be returning in a week or two? So because people have been asking.
Oh no, yeah, Combat Talk. People's been hitting my DMs crazy. But the thing is this: I want you guys to understand. I'm not gonna bring you any subpar content. I'm not gonna bring you any subpar fights. All right, I'm not gonna give you anything that you have to stick your head up and say, "What did he tell me to watch? Why am I watching this?" That's not gonna happen. All right, so I'm gonna
they telling me they want consistency.
Yeah.
They like, wait.
Yeah, but I can't give you. I'm not giving you Eddie Snake Oil Salesman Hearns crap. No. That's no. But if it's a good bum fight, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't give you something I know that player A is gonna destroy player B, and it's not even competitive. It's not. You know, I want y'all to understand that. I take this fight stuff very seriously, and if I see it that is something that is worthy of your time, because you can't get back time, you understand? I'm not gonna give you that stuff.
I feel, fair enough, and you all right. Just let us know when the next big one comes. We want to promote that thing. People loving it. You've been undefeated. Okay, September. Okay, good.
And if we might be able to, we might be doing that one live somewhere. The Lord.
Oh yeah, we all be together. Hopefully, yeah.
That's right. Let's get that popping. So that's what I got. Like I said, everybody enjoy your Sunday. If anybody in the rest of the realm has anything left to say, speak their piece. If not, we out of here.